Alright. Let's start by looking again at the Umineko chart, episode 3, right? This is what we started with. What we have so far. We don't have much so far. We only got a little bit. We've got me spending like 3 hours trying to figure out like Beatrice's bullshit, where she just completely lied. And Battler apparently believed it somehow. I don't even remember where this came from. What is the cookie coming from? And also the game capture is not capturing the sound from Umineko. Huh. Here we go. Could be whale or... Okay. Here we go. Maybe I should probably try and... What's the word? Make some videos about Umineko, right? Should probably edit some videos about Umineko, but the issue, right? I was considering it. The issue is that Umineko is so massive in scope, right? That it feels a bit odd to do so. For sure. Okay, let's start. I'm tired of the seagulls. I hate when the seagulls cry, it's very annoying. Alright. Here we go. The sound is way too loud on my side. Okay, so from what I remember, moments ago, right? Right, yeah, I won't use the red, but from me on, because I will explain on my behalf. Because we were talking about whether it was an 18th person or 19th or more. And Rosa was about to pull something big that would completely fuck up Battler's plans. So let's see what it is. Apparently Battler should be able to like pull out some stuff out of his hat, right? Get whoever it is. Woo! Burncastle, right? That's her name? Burncastle. Get Burncastle to help him out on this one? Like, is he gonna get a servant or something from her? Is someone gonna pop up to help Battler figure shit out? That's what I'm actually wondering, right? Is he gonna get like an imaginary friend, like Eva did? Because I know Burncastle is supposed to like intervene in this game much more actively. That's what she said. Which is the same thing that's happening with Lambda Delta, was actively intervening and completely changing the course of the game by making Eva push for finding the treasure. Which is something they didn't do in the previous episodes. But okay, now we're caught up. Now we're there. Let's start. Okay. Of course I think the same way. Rosa does too, right? Rosa? Sorry. Me too. I think that too. What did she think? Okay, yeah, that was way too long ago. That was even before the red discussion. What's wrong, Rosa-san? You've been really quiet for a while now. Are you feeling sick? From the beginning, Rosa had never been one to cut in on the siblings' fight. But even so, she seemed unmotivated. And had said almost nothing during this nice conference. The whole time she had hung her head and appeared to be thinking of something else. You've been in a daze for a while now. Do you think you can protect the inheritance like that? You're also the mother of your child, so get a stronger hold on yourself. I'm sorry. If you wake up really early in the morning, if you feel sick, you shouldn't overdo it. The bed now gets through have been prepared. Are the kids in this scene? No, they got chased out. The kids got chased out in this scene, I think. How about taking a rest? I will guide you. No, I'm fine. Thank you. What is it? Is there something you're worrying about? No, not really. Well, the is Umineko. We need Maya to just say in the best American Online impression, "You've got mail." Put a PC on the table to read out what Beatrice sent. Yeah. Just send it for like a telegram or some shit, so nobody could trace her. Also, hi Mac, what's up? How are you doing? So Nanuka, it feels like your mind has been elsewhere this whole time. I wonder if that has anything to do with what we've been talking about. At those words, everyone stared at Rosa together. As if in response, Rosa's shoulders quivered. Apparently, Kiri's guess hadn't been wrong. Did she witness magic again? At the start of episode 2, she witnessed magic, so is this the same? Rosa couldn't deny it either. No, She swallowed whatever it was she had been trying to say and went silent again. Of course, the other siblings also began to realize that something about her appearance was different from usual. I've noticed it, like, I was about to notice it. I felt it was weird, and I don't know if it is the case. Let me just... Give me a second to check on this, right? Blew it up by like massive amount. I guess 400. Okay, no, I thought, okay. So here's the issue, right? Here's what I noticed, right? Look at this eye. It is so much lower compared to the other one, right? Like you see it, right? If you look at it like this, and I felt like there was something wrong with her, but it turns out no. Actually, it's kind of in a straight line. I'm just dumb. Okay, well, let's... I thought she was, like, taken over, she was an alien or something. Like... her eyes felt weird in the seed. It turns out it's not the eye. What is it? You've been weird for a while. Did you think of something? We all just sort of remain united, didn't we? Don't hold back worrying about yourself. We said we'd talk. Rosa, tell us. The men pressed her one after the other, and Rosa confessed resignedly and nervously. The atmosphere made it seem as though she was confessing to some modest prank, which had inevitably brought about a serious situation. No, this mistress of grandfather's, this Beatrice. It's me. It's his own kid. I was wondering if she's still alive. Huh? Isn't it obvious that she's alive? After all, she was able to send that letter to us. Whether she's in good health or not is a different story, though. The woman in that portrait must be getting up there in age by now. I think she's dead. I think I brought it up last time. I think she died. I'd say she's healthy. People who are crafty, when it comes to money, stay healthy no matter how old they get. Her evil plan might even be the best version of aiding agents. She shouldn't be alive. Huh? What did you just say? Beatrice is dead. I killed her. Okay. Okay. That's a true nuclear bomb if I've ever seen one. I was about to draw Rosa stabbing Beatrice in the back, but we don't know yet. Oh, Rosa killed Beatrice? And I really want to know how. What did you say? What do you mean, Rosa? But it wasn't really me who killed her. I did bring her to a place like that. No, I did kill her after all. I tried to make myself believe it was a dream. But it wasn't really a dream, was it? Which makes this a letter from Beatrice's ghost. It was so sudden that everyone was lost for words. You see, I've always been drawn to shotguns, and then... True! Wait. Oh, thank God. I need to. I need to now. Give me a second. My internet seems to be dying. Is everything alright? The bitrate is going apeshit. Okay, give me a second. I want to, yeah, it's episode 2. Here we go. I need to get this on the shot. We got a flash of our good friend Battler's ass. Okay. Okay. Everyone's dead. Where is it again? Clear. Here we go. Saved. Take it. Right. We're gonna put it here for now. System load. We're going back to here. And where is Beatrice again? Here. I guess no, we're gonna wait until Beatrice pops up and complete the scene, right? Because for now, it's right, fine. It's only when the text boards. But the text a bit pixelated at first, but it crisps a few frames later. I see. That's why I started actually, like, I'm trying right now to record the stream, right? So that way, when I upload it, there's no bitrate issues. We'll see if that's helpful. But nonetheless, Rosa kept on talking, unable to stop holding her head, as her hair flew all about. Calm yourself! Rosa-san! I have absolutely no clue what's going on! Already dead? What do you mean? I think it means two things. First, its literal meaning. Thank you, Kiri. And second, it backs up our earlier guess. Which means, Rosa has met with Beatrice, right? I've never heard Rosa mention anything like this. Rosa, when was it? When could you possibly have met Beatrice? Long ago. Long ago. We just moved over to the island when I was still young. It wasn't my fault. It's not like I killed her. Wow. She seems so different here from what she was in episode 2. Calm down. Nobody's blaming you for anything, right? First, drink some water. Okay? Natsui, the pitcher, please. We've all got sweat drops here. All panicked about this. Yes! Here you go, Rosa. Please calm yourself. I'm noticing Like, we've been the focus for a while now. Are all the kids going to die? Including Battler? I wonder. Okay. Until Rosa was able to calm her ragged breathing, no one was able to speak a word. Okay? So what about it? Umineko no Naku Korone, Rondo of the Witch, and Reasoning. Wait, is it called Umineko when they cry? Because Umineko means seagulls? So it essentially means seagulls when they cry. Is this what it means? Like, I'm genuinely wondering now. Also, where the fuck is this place? Beatrice, I've been calling to you for some time now. Did you not hear me? Moo, where are you? My apologies. I was lost in thought. Forgive me. The weather is pleasant. Yes, I can understand of the weather has stolen your heart. Will you have your black tea here? Who am I? I will bring some tea now. Wait here for a while. What? The hell is happening? Forget about the tea. Talk with me. Very well. Kinzo had used the excuse of getting a black tea to try and interrupt the conversation for the time being. But his attempt had been very transparent. I sat in the garden chair and beckoned Kinzo to do the same. Kinzo sat down heavily, exaggerating his age. For a while, we sat and appreciated the silence. Who am I? Until today, no one has answered this question. For some reason, everyone averts their gaze and evades me. I have known you for a long time. Think of you as my best friend, even as a father. That is why I want so much for you to tell me. You should know who I am. Why are you worried about something like that? You are Beatrice, the master of this mansion, is that not so? What more could you want to know? I do not know. What the fuck? What's this? Don't you even understand what it is you want to know? Are you serious? In one's youth, there are times one wants to play in the maze of thought that has no exit. Perhaps that's what your worries are. Kinzo laughed as though it was a trivial matter. Probably is. However, I couldn't help but feel that his behavior was another attempt to force me to stop any further questioning. Oh, Beatrice's pub, okay. So you won't tell me, after all. There is nothing to tell. You are Beatrice. Isn't that more than enough? No, that's not it. What I wish to know is not my name. I want to know who I am. Who am I? What am I? How long have I been here? And how long will I have to continue my days here? I really should bring some black tea. Don't you think it is a waste of all this fine weather? So, he's keeping Beatrice as like a pet. Not actually treating her like an actual person. Is that why like Kinzo was talking about wanting to own Beatrice? Because that's already what he has right now, where he owns Beatrice. It looks like it's probably the story of your past, right? Something like that. You think I would go this far back? Looks like a pretty deep worries even then. Wondering who you were. That is to be expected. At the time, I wasn't able to understand who I was, or why I was alive. Well, in puberty, everyone is captured by those philosophical worries at least once, wondering what meaning there is in their life. Doesn't this just prove you had a charming period like that at one point? I didn't tell my action since the time of my birth. Yeah! Wait. How does it still exist? That was 1,000 years ago. And I lived only inside the mansion. Of course, I went out into the garden, but the area around the mansion was surrounded by a very tall fence. I was unable to live through it. I was so severely that I must leave. I could walk freely throughout the mansion and the garden, but outside of that, not once was my desire. Take just one step outside of my own accord granted. What do you mean by that? Are you trying to say, as far as back as you remember, you were always a bird in a cage? That's what I thought at the time. After all, as soon as I became aware I was living like that, I didn't even think to question it. Who in the world are you? That's it. That is what I also hope to know. I'm sure you said something like, I wasn't a human, I was a witch, right? No, that's not true. That isn't true yet. How should I say? That was once the case. I was constructed by Kinzo, a human built by a human. What the fuck do you mean? Constructed? Perhaps you should call it a cage made out of flesh. What the fuck? What the hell? Yeah, I agree, Butler. This is getting weird. You probably won't believe it anyway. But listen first. I was a mighty witch who had lived for 1,000 years. But at one point, I was summoned by Kinza. But I did not. I was bound as his prisoner for eternity. Never heard of that before. For 1 year in the Ishirmiya family, you were summoned by grandfather, made something like a devil's contract with him, and gave him the gold. Indeed. That is correct. Then I was supposed to vanish until the contract was complete. But, well, popular women have it rough. By some turns of events, Kinza fell in love with me. Grandfather's nearsightedness would have got him pretty bad. With astigmatism too. He fell in love with you, of all things. A bit rude, but deserved, Butler. Well, to me, there could not be nothing more bothersome. However, the power of humans is a frightening thing. It displayed that fearsome power and rooted me to this place. He said I wouldn't be freed until I nodded my head in agreement. You're an overbearing man. Isn't that awesome? Everyone knew Grandfather was obsessed with your cult. Who would have guessed he had the power to root down the great witch Beatrice? Ridiculous. Who believes such a weird story? As I thought, you don't believe. All I believe is the fact that you lived at this hidden mansion in the middle of the forest. You are the 90th person over Kenjima, right? Indeed. Okay, this is important to note down then. I'm gonna color it purple. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Okay, this is perfect. This is great. This is good to note down for the future. Alright. Indeed. Just as we imagined, this is deep within the forest of Okanjima. But I didn't mention not to be found from the outside world. Its name is Kuadorian, Nine Birds Retreat. Come to think of it, I heard the guest house's real name was Torian, Visitor's Retreat. I see. The naming sense is similar. So you were grandfather's mistress who lived here in secret. Isn't that right? Mistress isn't the right way to say it. You should probably call it Kinzo's unrequited love. I spoke of it just now, correct? He fell in love with me of his own accord. He then courted me, but I rejected him. Then I was shut up in Tacit Mansion. No, that's not quite right. It would be more correct to say that I was shut up in his body. In this body. Okay. I was wondering, like, in Kinzo's body? That's weird. Got no idea what you said at the end there. You will just make fun of it and refuse to listen, right? After all, you say you don't believe in witches or magic. If you have no ears to hear what I tell you, saying it would be the pinnacle of foolishness. Fair point. Fair point from Beatrice. I'll decide whether I believe or not. After all, if I don't ask, the story won't continue. Tell me, let's hear the story from your past. Very well. I refused Kinzo when he courted me, but he was not a man to lose heart at something like that. He wanted me to make me nod my head in agreement, no matter what. Shut me up in this mansion. It's been an eternity trying to win my heart. Talk about overbearing. Guess no one likes obstinate men, huh? Cool. Regardless of whether I responded to his courting or not, having a man so desperate from you was, well, as a woman, wasn't so unpleasant. However, I never accepted his proposal. I tried to find some way to break through his guard, but that barrier was fear, and I couldn't crack it. And then, after trying to resist in various ways, I eventually reached the conclusion that, to escape from Kinzo's barrier, I would have to throw away his body of flesh. And she killed herself? The physical body is a vessel with many restrictions for a magic user. Throw away your body of flesh? What does that mean? Something like an out-of-body experience? Yeah. Yeah. Talk about overbearing. Especially, like, considering it's like prisoner for like 30 years. It's not even a small amount of time. Well, if you want to think of it that way, however, I am no spirit, even though I am a witch. In the beginning, I was born with a human's body of flesh. So for me, throwing away that physical body, while it didn't mean the same thing as death, it did require a similar level of resolve. So in other words, you decided that you couldn't be released except by suicide. Is that it? It wasn't suicide. It was nothing more than throwing away my body of flesh. Of course, becoming nothing more than a soul is a precarious situation. When the soul leaves its body of flesh, it is constantly exposed to the strong winds of the sun. Astral projecting? It was not easy for me to maintain myself and avoid being scattered by them. It was a final measure that I wanted to avoid if I could. However, there was no way for me. There was no other way to break through Kinzo's barrier. Anyway, I am an unfettered person. I couldn't stand being kept in a cage until Kinzo's life was over. I couldn't fit the stuff Bito kept going on about throwing away her body of flesh, as anything more than suicide. Grandfather persistently caught her though, and to escape from that, she chose her own death? So you're saying you committed suicide? What are you talking about? Isn't that you, sitting carefree there in the garden chair? That's right. That is a new cage I was given by Kinzo. Cage? Even this mention? No. I mean my body, relaxing in the garden chair over there. Even though I was so desperate to escape that I became naught but a soul, Kinzo still had no intention of letting me go. Uh-oh, he was a fearsome person. Normally, when the object of one's own unrequited love feels that she's willing to die, it should be enough to bring that person to their senses, even if your love has lasted for 100 years. Perhaps that's why even he managed to become a sorcerer of sorts. Keckle. Is that what she means by without love it cannot be seen? That Kinzo had like such a huge amount of love that he became a sorcerer as a result. Don't try to confuse me with that incomprehensible witch girl talk. What exactly are you trying to say? That Kinzo didn't let me escape after I became a soul. Human emotions are terrifying. To think it would be able to exhibit such power. Tying down a dead soul is not something that can be accomplished easily. Not even for a magician who specializes in such matters. Because I knew this, Kinzo's fearful magical power shocked me for the first time. Then Kinzo sealed my soul and brought me back. However, a cage sure the seed soul cannot be made from iron or lead. Only one thing remained. What? You aren't gonna say it was a magical cage or something, are you? He gave her amnesia. Wrong? It's that body of flesh over there, just like yours or mine. Only a cage made of flesh and blood can tie a down soul to this world. Kinzo shut my soul up in a cage of flesh built to be exactly like me. So to sum it up, it's like this. Whoever accidentally coded you, you started to hate it and you committed suicide. But you weren't clever enough to finish the job. Damn, you really took a roundabout way to say something like that. No, that's wrong. My soul was shut up in the seed of a homunculus that was born out of a test tube. Sure, Beatrice. Yeah, no. I trust you on this. Huh? But that's crazy. That isn't even possible, right? Kinzo accomplished even the miracle of creating life, simply to shut my soul up in that cage. That he would show such magical power, simply because of his own love. A thoroughly terrifying person. It's already gotten pretty ridiculous. Say whatever you want, I won't believe anything. Just do what you like. Meh, what's with this unpleasant attitude? In the beginning, I showed a little interest, thinking that there might be some huge hint in there. Man, Battler really in his digital face? Okay, Mac. Consider this. If your torturer, right, the person who has killed you in very brutal ways, at least 40 times, we've known he dies 14 times, right? Made a person eat their own siblings. Right? And then suddenly they start to give you a sub-story about, oh, they were kept captive for like 50 years. Would you really be empathizing with them? Or will you not be telling them, shut the fuck up, I don't care? Like, I'm sorry, I get Battler there. At this point, I get him. He's in his digital face, but, like, Beatrice is not a good person at all. And I understand why he would have some pent-up resentment towards her. Thank God he does, because otherwise that would be weird. The more I ask, the weirder the story starts to get. I get the feeling that even though this is supposed to be a game about denying witches, I'm suddenly being forced to just swallow this story about witches. Sorry, but I don't feel like listening to this anymore. Just keep rambling on to yourself as much as you want. I'll be over here, picking at my earwax or something. Yeah, don't look sad. Like, do you really think he would empathize with you? Beatrice. When I started acting cold, Beatrice seemed unusually discouraged. Of course, her expression was still shameless. But in that really easy to understand expression of hers, I had the feeling I was able to catch a glimpse of loneliness at my failure to find the story of her past interesting. For some reason, that subtle reaction made her seem pitiful. Even though I kept my careless attitude, I decided to cover her for her slightly. Damn it, even though she's an irritating witch, I'm still weak against her because her chromosomes are exact. Based. What is he gonna say? Well, I've got absolutely no desire to believe you, but keep going. Let's have a bit of a story instead of a tea snack. You trade something, the story of my past, like little more than snack. Do you expect me to just casually tell you and you casually insult me like this? After I made fun of her, Beato reacted a little sensitively. It looked like, even though making fun of people was a specialty, she was horrible at being made fun of by others. Then, a black tea cup suddenly made a sound, surprising me. Milady's soul was seized and breathed into a cage of new life. In other words, Milady received life as a human once more. Before I realized it, the demon butler had taken the cup and was adding more black tea to it. Ronove! Enough of that. This person just said it was too ridiculous to be worth listening to. Well, it's too ridiculous to be worth talking to. I'm making some new cookies right now. Until they're ready, I thought you might find the story of Milady's past could be a perfect substitute for a snack. Didn't we say that's enough talking about me? Such unpleasant people, the lot of you. I'm leaving. Whatever, let's have a food and then go. No pointless chit-chat with Butler. Certainly, I will make an effort. An effort. Beato's short temper, peculiar to women, which I didn't really understand, took hold of her, and she turned the body into gold butterflies, scattered, and disappeared. After that, only Ronove and the scent of the black tea were left. I feel kinda bad, like I pissed her off or something. Really? You think? No way, Battler, you definitely didn't piss her off. As long as you're aware of it yourself. I need say nothing more. Wait a sec. Weren't you the one who struck the finishing blow? My, what could you mean by that? Would you like some sugar and milk? Just milk will be fine. And some tea snacks would be nice too. Well, it will be a little longer before the cookies are ready. But then you say I've already got something to use in place of a snack. Certainly. If you will listen quietly, I will continue the story. Okay. Okay, Ronove. Give us a deets. She said something about a homunculus. I know a bit about that. It's that thing, right? A manufactured human created with alchemy or something. Yes. Milady's soul was shut up in the homunculus, and she was revived in this world, receiving life again as a baby. However, because she was a baby, any professions of love on Kings of Spot would have been quite useless. Really? I would be surprised if even Kinzo went, oh, I love this baby. That would be very weird. Yeah, no, exactly. You're insane. That grandfather shut that baby up in this hidden mansion until it grew to reach the same age she'd been? Correct. That is what I'm saying. However, while her soul was the same, the human spirit is strongly influenced by this container. Milady lost all memories of past and grew up as a very normal human girl. And you're seeing, that's a Beato sitting in the garden chair. Yes, that is correct. It grew to be completely identical. Okay, so that means in episode 2, when the Beatrice showed up, it wasn't like actually witch, and she didn't come out of nowhere. She just came from the hidden mansion. Right, in this timeline, she wasn't killed by Rosa. Instead, she came from the mansion. Right? And in episode 1, I don't fucking know. However, it did not possess a power as a witch. The lady was completely human. What? She's still here? Beato, who was sitting in the garden chair, looking up at the sky, voiced that same question again. He asked who she was. The meaning of those words was finally starting to click. She couldn't understand why she was living here, all locked up. Grandfather had seized Beatrice's soul, shut it up in the body of flesh, and then shut that up in a hidden mansion. However, since she had lived here since the time of her birth, he couldn't even understand who she was, or why she lived shut up in there. Wait! Who would take such a stupid story seriously? Why don't I change my interpretation? Even worse, couldn't it be something like this? Grandfather met Beatrice. He then fell in love with her and courted her, but she didn't accept him. Then, he flew into rage and shut her up inside this hidden mansion. Beatrice tried to escape. No matter what she did, she couldn't succeed. So she finally chose her own death. And then? No. Maybe it was a girl who looked just like Beatrice. No. A baby. Are they implying that Kinzo had sex with the original Beatrice against her will and then raised that baby to be the same as the old Beatrice? Is this what they're implying here? Honestly, with how much of a piece of shit Kinzo is, like, you have to remember that this guy is willing to sacrifice 13 members of his family just to meet Beatrice again, right? I would not put it past him to like do something like this at all. He is a dog shit person. Maybe he didn't view this child as a daughter. Soul was once again shut up in a cage of flesh. Those words probably meant that he didn't view this kid as her child, but as a reincarnation. Maybe that's what it meant. If you interpret it that way, even a story this weird might make a little sense. No. This might be some bullshit Bito cooked up to confuse me. As if I could accept any of this. In the first place, Kuwadorian, was it? There's no proof whatsoever that the hidden mansion actually existed. Couldn't this be something she just fabricated on the spot? Okay. Okay, I thought that was specific to only witches. But we're noting this down. Like right now. We're gonna put it right next to we're gonna actually move the map, right? That way we can put this above. There we go. You can mind read. Probably. That is the place we were just talking about. Huh? Red? Or no, they use the red. You say that Kuwadorian actually existed. If that means the same thing as the red Bito used? I mean, look it, but I am a demon. Please keep this secret from the lady, yes? Sure. Bito, when Yo tried to trip her up, I'd grown extremely cautious when using red. To think that Runovic could use red. However, it was the red of a crafty man. I didn't know how far I could accept it. But anyway, I might be able to get some kind of a hint about it. Is he the elf that Bernkastel sent? Is he the person Bernkastel sent to like El Butler? So that Bito relaxing in the garden at Kuwadorian. In that conversation she had with grandfather. Where's the truth? Yes, it is a truth. In the past, the pair actually had a conversation like that in this place. So she did actually exist. This actually implies Bito existed. This is big. He is actively saying... Wait, I need to write it down. I can't do it by writing like this. Okay, give me a second. Remove this, put this. plus Kinzo. Ito wonders where she is. In the hidden mansion, and Kinzo refuses to reply. Okay. This is one time where context is very important. Thanks a lot. I'll ask for some more red. You said she was born from an unculus. But does that kind of scientific magical thing actually exist? He won't be allowed to enter. I'm unable to understand that, to answer that question. After all, doing so would cause a stalemate. Stalemate? What does that mean? It's a chess term referring to a state in which, similar to a perpetual check, any further progress in the game becomes impossible. This would be the opposite of an endless repetition move, because all moves would disappear and bring about a kind of deadlock. In chess, this would lead to a draw, just as a perpetual check would. However, there can be no draws in the game between you and milady. Therefore, I am unable to answer a question that would bring about a stalemate. You obviously want to confuse me by saying incomprehensible stuff. But simply put, you're trying to dodge a question, because you can't use the red to say something magical like a homunculus exists, right? If I were to say in red that a witch exists, what would you do, Butler? Oh. Whatever, no, I believe that is what our whole fight's about, right? If I was told that point blank, it'd be game over. If I said a witch exists in red, you would have no room for argument. However, since the reason would never have been made clear to you, Butler, you probably wouldn't accept it. Yeah, I would probably say, oh, she calls herself a witch or something. However, after being told that in red, you will have no room for argument, will not have been shown any proof. In this situation, even though you wouldn't be able to admit defeat, you would have no way to make a counter-argument, and it would become a deadlock. If a checkmate would not have been reached, there would be no existing moves left. Since you would not be able to play your next hand, it would never become Milady's turn. And the game would stop there for all eternity. As a result, Milady would be unable to force you to submit. That is true. That makes sense. He is actually answering properly. It will be a deadlock situation. In order to avoid that, I am unable to answer questions of this nature in red. Say it quickly. You're saying point-blank questions are prohibited. Well, that's true, I guess. If I were told a witch exists, I'll have to give up from the start. I am pleased that you understand. I believe we might be able to work together if you ask your questions in a different form. Can you help me with that line Beatrice dodged when I told her to repeat it? About the number of people in the silent. Milady yelled back on repeating it. Then, of course, I cannot respond. As Milady's furniture, I am unable to be too forward. The fucking goat. Yeah, no, I love him. He does not have a goat mask, but he still is the goat. I love him. Genuinely, I thought he would be very annoying, right, when I first saw him with his face. But I was so wrong. He is cool. I like this guy. I do like this guy a lot. Also, I have Gucci pants. Made an exaggerated gesture, trying to act like a loyal retainer. This guy is just so shameless. Just when I thought you might actually be useful. You have more questions you could answer. I'll give up on that and search for a different question. It looks like Keanu Reeves rated Wilson 100. He does. There's all of the goats, yet Ronove is a goat. He's like that's why he's the chief of the goats, right? He ranks above them because, like, you know, he's the ultimate goat, essentially. That's right. As we're getting to check something important. It's a story about Dito's memory, right? When did it happen? Couldn't be happening right now, right? Correct. This is a world of 1967. So 20 years ago. Wait, no. The world of 19 years previous. I'm taking... Okay, so there was no more red, so let's record that. Here we go. Resize that to be 70. Here we go. He's up, but you gotta get rid of that mustache. It wouldn't be the same without the mustache. Wait, let's try. Let's see what it does. Let's see. Hi, Rosa. I wanted to do a bit, but I forgot what I wanted to do with her. Right? Okay. The Ronovis are duplicating, by the way. There we go. Perfect. Alright. So now let's take this, right? And we're going to fill it up. It is the same color at least, so that's easy. Right? Let's make sure that we get everything. And let's see who's the other of the two. Alright. Okay, now I need the pen. I need nose reconstruction. I got the name for it. Yeah. I don't know. I genuinely think he's better with a mustache. It grows on you. Like the mustache, it grows on you. Literally and figuratively. Let me do a poll. I'm gonna do a poll. Give me a second. Alright. He grows on me. Runaway always tells the truth. The other Runaway always tells lies. Hi, I'm a devil. Okay, poll. Where is it? Here we go. Which is better? Mustached Runaway. Shaved Runaway. Here we go. Brings the razors out. Evil. Okay, wait, I forgot. We need one last one. Okay, wait. Second. Alright. I need to do the same here. Oh, it's just like 1 pixel too much. It should be perfect. Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. Well, you guys can vote on the poll. Guys, you should vote on the poll. You're the one who requested it. Okay, give me a second. Here we go. I wanted to like make it look good, but it does not. Can someone get me the PS3 sprites? If possible. Pretty please. So I can like make him the actual GOAT. It has always been an option, but it's an option I can check, and an option I can remove. Which is exactly why I put it. Because of funny shit like this. I guess 92% agree that there are 30 people, 31 people who agreed. Well, I didn't know we had this many viewers. Holy shit. I love democracy. Yeah. I was about to make the political joke. You want the run of a PS3 sprite? I want the run of a PS3 sprite, yes, and I want the good ad PS3 sprites. As accurate as 9 out of 10 dentists. Yeah, essentially. But I'm glad, without the cheated votes, right? I'm glad some people actually agree that the mustache is better, like objectively. He's missing something. I think the issue with the mustache, right? The one issue I see with it is the coloring. I think the coloring should have been different. Probably align a little bit with the hair. I think that's the only issue with it. It definitely looks better in the PS3 version. Got a gen for it too. Don't shame him. That's rude. Why would you do this? Mustache looks more fitting because it's the same color as him. As his hair. Right, that's why. Okay. Give me a second. All right. The bit isn't working. I don't think it's possible. Wait, give me a second. Also, I need... Come on, get out. Okay. Just remove the biggest parts of it, right? There we go. Okay, what will it look like? Awful. Alright, I wanted to make him the actual GOAT, but... Wait, no, I have an idea. Wait, I know. This is how you make him a GOAT. I just realized. Oh, fuck. Then you resize it to like 300. Yeah. Okay. We do the same here. That's what I wasn't understanding, right? The actual goats, if you want to make it to be a goat, you need... Wait, why is it not freeform? You need the goat's horn. Wait, no!
I removed my overcoat on. I need to be more careful. Ah, fuck. It's taking a while to do this bit, but I think it's important. Right? I think it's an important bit. I think it matters a lot. Okay, 250. And obviously, let's not forget, right? Please. God damn it. Precise to 250 to fit. I swear to God. Okay, 250. Here we go. I'm sorry for the wait, by the way. This is much more awful than I expected. Why don't I just do this? Why am I bothering? Oh my god. I'm being very dumb right now. Here we go. And now I just freeform this and it's gonna take like 5 seconds. Right? Boom. Perfect. Why do simple when you can do complicated? This is a lesson for today. Okay, and now in red truth, right? The go. I ran out of space. The go. Perfect. Can you give him 2 monocles? Is there no option to flip it? I should have done that, yeah. Can you put Runaway in a steak uniform? Oh my god, yeah, that's genius. I'm actually gonna do that. But first, give me a second. I would need to do something like this, right? Freeform selection. Will it look good or will it look shit? Right? That's the question. Ugh. God damn it. I need to like select it, right? Then I need to copy it. I need to make a separate copy. I need to rotate it. Flip horizontal. Here we go. Then I freeform selection. We avoid the bridge of the nose. Here we go. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, that was a good idea. Runaway will make the tea. True. I need the steak uniforms though now. Give me a second. We remove all of this because this is useless. Delete. Delete. Here we go. Okay, and now I would look it up. I would look up steak uniform, but I don't think I should. No, oh my god, no, I can't. Because like the tip system has text all over it. Can someone get me the original sprites? Wait, no, I did save it. Wait. Give me a second. I did save it. Which one are we picking? This one is the biggest one, so we're taking it. Okay. One's a sprite of a steak. If you got the full-on sprite, yeah. But I would need the full one. It's like, the best I got so far is this. What am I doing? No, why am I doing this? I can just... Here we go. Wasn't that complicated. Okay. God. I need to upscale it to like 200? Grab a Asmodeus. She got too long hair. Yeah, but like as I said, I don't have the sprites, so I can't really, you know, fuck around with it. I think a little bit more. Yeah, perfect. This is the perfect size. And also heavily pixelated. So I hope he enjoys it. Yeah, let's speak. Yeah, let's speak. Okay. Sadly, I fucked up. However, I can do this, right? Copy it, then we put it back. No, I'm stupid. Here we go. Then we take this. I'm gonna put it. Where can we even put it? I guess I can just move this around, right? Why am I bothering when I can just... This is very important, by the way. Like, without this, my chart is not complete, so it's very important. Very primordial that we solve this issue. Right? This is gonna be perfect. This is gonna be so worth it. When this is done, I'm gonna be so happy with myself. I definitely won't regret the time I spent making this. At all. Which one is the best? Like this? Yeah, like this. Right? It's aligned. Right? You did it. You solved Umineko. I always find it brave when someone uses cut paste. I use cut paste because it's like direct feedback, right? Without it, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know if it actually worked, right? But yeah, now we've got the goat. We've got the full-on goat. In Umineko, right? So we're ready to continue. Let me just bring him over with the others. Perfect. Umineko has been solved. And then we bring this back up. It's magnificent. Fuck, I lost it. This is why, okay, here's what I do, right? When I cut, I do something like this. I cut, and then I Control Z. That's what I do every time, because that allows me to just, like, have visual feedback that I actually copied it, without actually losing what I copied. It's pretty important to me. Because that way, I can know if it actually did, because so many times I would like, you know, I would Control C and then it would do nothing and I would be so confused. Like it's just a simple Control X, Control Z. And now I got it. And I can duplicate the row settings. Like this, right? Like this. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm going somewhere, trust me. I have a file, give me a second. I'm pulling up the files. If I find it. Come on, I can find it. I will definitely find it. Where is it? Yeah, I got this one, but that's the wrong one. Firing squad. Yeah, that's my plan. I'm planning to get good old Beatrice, right? I find Beatrice and I just put a sprite right next to it, and it's the Beatrice firing squad. The best I got is this, right? Do I pick this? Is this a good one? And obviously we're gonna flip it horizontally so it upsets people because it doesn't look right. What do we think? What do we think about this? There is battalion in existence right in this paint window. Just look at what one Rosa could do. Alright, and then we're gonna lower its size. No, wait, no. Yeah. Give it a second. Resize, I guess, to 20, no, 30. No, bit too small. 50. Right, here we go. Nah, 60. 60. It's gotta be a 60. It's gotta take some space. 60% by the way of the size. That's what it means when I say numbers like this. 60%. Here we go. And it's right here. We have come for your gold. I love shots. I love it too. I love it too. Like, come on, don't tell me this isn't peak. That this stuff is going at the bottom. There we go. It's a secret 2 spot. The secret one that no one will ever notice. Where Beatrice is on one space, and every other space is Rosa just aiming at the lone Beatrice. I would love to do this, but I think I should move on. No, I had a better idea. You make like a board where like all the pawns on Beatrice's side is like all the stakelings right in front of her, and then it's just repeated in the back. And then on Battler's side it is just like one token of Battler surrounded by an entire line of Natsui as pawns, and then Rosa. That's the Rooks and everything. I think that would be perfect. It's just perfect. People will come back to the stream after a long while and see this shit. I'm doing this for important reasons, so we can like pull this back up. So we can like, you know, solidify this shit. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. After 30 years, the chart is complete for now, right? If anything important happens, we will include it. But not yet. Okay. Exactly, Butler. Let's try rearranging the story again. I wonder if it couldn't be something like this. I already said it. My idea is Kinzo had sex with the original Beatrice who didn't want it. She gave birth and then killed herself following the birth, right? And then Kinzo raised the child to be exactly the same as Beatrice, which by coincidence actually looked like her. That is what I'm gonna assume. And like, it is awful to think about, but again, Kinzo sent 13 members of his family to die and then sent the rest to be devoured by demons. So, you know, at this point, right, after this point, I think this is not above him. This is not below him. This is the type of shit that Kinzo would do. He is a dogshit person. Okay. That's my theory. Maybe Battler has a better one. Grandfather fell in unrequited love with a person called Beatrice. Then he confined her in this hidden mansion and continued to court her. But she was stubborn and didn't give in. Eventually, she grew pessimistic about being able to escape from you, and probably committed suicide. And then, her soul was put in an homunculus and... No, if I accept that, it's the same as accepting the witch. But, Battler, think, what other way would there be to make a child that looks like Beatrice from the old Beatrice? Think about this, Battler. You need to think about it. She probably had a posthumous daughter. Grandpa must have believed that her soul was placed in a new physical body. Yes! But I thought that the child was a reincarnation of Beatrice. That means at least 19 years ago, B2 existed on this island as the 19th person. Like, what does that mean, Butler? If she had a child, connect the dots. How would she get a child before her death? Despite being locked up in a mansion. Butler, you need to think about this. I'm starting to get confused. Either way, we can't do more than speculate. The only thing we can say for sure in red is that in 1967, Spoke brought it. Oh, right, that makes sense. The non-magical stores, you know, the one that like just bring it. Those aren't magical, those are just a thing, a fact of life. The extremis existed as a human. Yeah, that's all. That is correct. In 1967, they didn't mention Rukujima. Beatrice existed as a human. So the Beatrice we know and love actually exists. Okay. So we've just repeated the same thing over and over. This one, since it's like the one summons everything, should be 70, not 60. There we go. Okay. Oh, thank you. That really helps. Congratulations! With this, you made clear the existence of the piece known as the 19th person. A 19th human for you to claim, just as you longed for. You're a sacrificial sheep upon which you can shift the blame of any crime. Oh, amusing that it happens to be Milady.
Runover laughed indiscreetly. Somehow, I didn't like how he put that, so I didn't feel like laughing along with him. Yeah, he's setting Battler up. Runover isn't like working for any side. He's just looking to like... He's just looking to cause shit to happen, like... He wants things to go bad. That's right. There's that thing on Rosa said. Beatrice is dead? Killed her? What does that mean? Now, we already know. I made the helpful shots to know what it means. Runover anarchy. As for that, it may be faster to see the actual circumstances, rather than listen to me tell you. Let's advance the clock a little more. Runover pulled a stylish pocket watch from his pocket, and touched the watch stem. As soon as he did, I saw gold butterflies gather behind his back and take the form of a person. Was it Bito? I quickly realized that it was someone else. Oh. Oh, it's a stakeling! He got an apple. Wait. That reminds me, someone sent this image. And I do like it. I don't think it's a good one. Give me a second to pull it up. Jeremy, pull it up on screen, please. This one. Thank you, Battler, for being ever so vigilant. Thank you, Battler. Such a nice caretaker. It was her, the oldest sister of the 7 states, who loved tormenting me more than her 3 meals a day. If I don't consider myself lucky this 6 years, I won't be able to keep up with her torture game. Runover-sama! No, you're still here. This is an urgent call from Beatrice-sama. My. What kind of urgent business could it be? It seems... It seems. Much at the Battler. Has run a tad long. Well then, Battler, if you will excuse me. Please continue to enjoy your games with my lady. Yeah. I'll enjoy it as best as I can. My conversations go a lot more smoothly when we're with you, as opposed to her. And you're more gracious with the red too. And talk again anytime you like. Battler, despite how I look, I am Milady's furniture. I can do nothing that Milady does not desire. What I said in res was something that normally should have come from Milady's mouth. I did nothing more than announce the red truth in Milady's place, as she sulked. So she really was sulking then. Seeing me and Runover incomprehensibly eating it up, that steak Nishan cocked her head curiously. Runover! We're keeping Beatrice waiting! Let us hurry! Yes, I shall go immediately. Yaoi. What do you think that like this single scene has sparked a shit ton of Yaoi fanfics? I can bet you it has, like 100%. It must have. There's no other way. There's no other way. I've got to meme about this. Please pull it up. Please pull it up on screen. Run up there, Bat Love. Bat Love sounds like insanely good. Like, I'm sorry, but like, Bat Love is insanely good as a name for a ship. There's no way that's not what it's called. Bat Love. If it's not what it's called, I would be impressed. Yeah, so I should go immediately. Well, Battler, I will see you later. It appears that we have finally started getting along. As I thought, I have this feeling we'll manage to become good friends. Wink, wink. If you're partners are gossiping behind Bito's back. Yes, yes. You will excuse me. Terrible servant, by the way. Maybe she didn't like seeing him act so friendly with me. Maybe she really had been told her already. When the steak let out a further thunderous cry, Runover laughed frivolously and disappeared, as if running away.
And then the stake pierced Lizard instantly. Why am I, the oldest sister of the 7 stakes of Purgatory, being summoned for a menial task like this? Even poor Bido could have told one of the younger sisters who looked like they've got nothing better to do. Sheesh. Why so grumpy, Ni-chan? If you're hungry, eat a cookie or something. Why don't I give you the last one? No! Okay, this plot makes no sense. Umineko sucks, confirmed. Umineko is trash. He said, and I quote, Rodove said, we don't have cookies, I have to bake more. And now he tells me there are cookies? What the fuck is this plot point on? Like, I expected better from you, Umineko. I expected better. This is honestly, this is something to include. Give me a sec. Okay, we put it in bold. We up it to size 48. And we add an H there. Perfect. I'm sure this will be related to a huge revelation 3 episodes from now. Yeah, this is exactly why I'm noting it down. This is huge. Let me find it. In Purple Space World, cookies still must be baked in ovens. Have to exist and can't just snap them into existence. I mean, it's like demon baked cookies. Right, he probably puts demonic shit in like those demonic rituals to make them taste good, right? Because like Beatrice can summon tea, she has summoned tea by herself, right? But I think that just Runove is so good at like making ritual incantations to summon the cookies that people just line up to eat them. Without love, they cannot be sweet. So thoughtful. And shall I take one? Casually push the snack plate with the last remaining cookie over to her. Thank you. Who could have expected this? As though coming has appeared at the end of a sentence. The sharp stone pierced the table. The nails of 3 of her fingers extended, grew sharp, and pierced the space between my fingers on the end that was pushing the plate, missing them by a hair's breadth. Oh, I thought she cut off his arm. He probably liked that, yeah. He's probably into this. They're all Wolverines, I'm pretty sure. It all happened in an instant, though for a while, I didn't even realize that her fingernails had grown. The tips of those sharp nails were like blades with a red manicure. The spaces between the blades of my fingers hurt sharply. Those razor-like blades had been plunged into the table, a hair's breadth away from the back of my hand and my fingers. Why does Lucy look so cool? Okay, let's agree to disagree. Because of those 3 blades, I was unable to even let my careless right hand tremble. By now, all I could do was let a bead of cold sweat drip down. Whoa! Ni-chan, isn't it about time you cut your nails? It's Lucifer. That is my glorious name. The honored furniture who serves Beatrice and the oldest sisters of the 7 stakes of Purgatory. I am not like my disgraceful younger sisters. If you don't show proper respect, you will regret it. Why would I regret it, exactly? I can't really think of a reason. You've been killing him over and over, constantly. I don't think he cares anymore, Lucifer. Stupid kid. Do you really want to play with me that much? He's such a player. Yeah, he's a wrestler for sure. Why is that unforgettable? I thrust my stake deep into you. I'll let you enjoy being gouged to the fullest, okay?
damn it. Calm down, have you done? Alright, Butler. Damn. He really loves it. Holy shit. Okay, if they don't get together by the end of the story, if they don't get together, I do not know what Umineko is about anymore. They have to get together. It makes no sense otherwise. Wait, no. I got up. So again, gotta do it over here so that way it's easy to fix. There we go. What? No. Okay, this should be good like this, right? Here we go. We lower the size to 60. No, this sucks. Probably like this, right? Then we remove this. Remove this. And then, watch this, watch this. This is gonna be crazy. This is gonna go viral. All right, get ready. I'm a moron. No way, I know what I could do. I'm stupid. I forgot that's a feature. I forgot that's how it works. Get ready, this is gonna go viral. Yeah, this is good. This is good. We'll lower it to 80. Okay, and then we get the other one. Okay. Back into it. Perfect. Here we go, and then we freeform select. No, this sucks. I need to leave a fair bit of open space, otherwise this is not gonna work. Wait, no, I'm stupid. I just realized I fucked up. I just realized I fucked up. Here we go. Because I'm supposed to, like, bring it over, right? I need to bring it over to the right. To put it, like, under Battler. And I think that's the way you're supposed to do it. Right? What? Why is it copied over? I'm gonna scream. What the fuck? Oh my god. Please don't do this again. I'm so sorry, but I need this to be perfect. I need this to be perfect considering how good this line is. I need this to be perfect. I hope you guys understand why.
Okay, and now we... What? What the fuck? Oh, you're doing it on purpose now. MS Paint. What the fuck? That just... I pressed right click and it just fucking deleted itself. And now it's fucking white. If this isn't good. Okay, this is good. It sucks compared to what we had before, but... It's better than nothing. Here we go. No, it sucks. I didn't notice. The pause yes is missing. Okay. 60, then. Why does it suck? I really thought it would have been better, but like this is not turning out good. And I ate it. MS Paint is fucking me over. It went perfect the first time. Like as I said, I think this is an important quote to get like perfectly. Come on. Come on, put me over there. Yes. What the fuck? No, dude! I right-clicked! What? This is bullshit! This fucking app sucks! I right-click onto it! What the fuck? MS Paint! No. You need to like keep a backup before you resize it. That's true. That's true. Yeah, okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Right. Alright. The issue is if I don't do freeform select, it's gonna put like a huge white space. Right? That's what it does every time. You gotta be fucking shitty. No, I know what I should have done this entire fucking time. This is... Swear. And then it looks good, right? This is a proper size. No, it's not. 70. Okay, this should be good. Alright, now we should be good. Right? But what I'm gonna do is simple. It's gonna be as simple as that, right? No, because fucking got white pot. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. This is perfect. That was just as easy as that. I don't know why I made it so odd. And now we're good, right? Now we're good. We just finish this. I get the full picture. Perfect. This one we're keeping in full size. That was just incredibly good by Battler. Here we go! Bravo to me! After 30 years! An approximate 30 years of setting it up! You won a battle today. That was... okay. Sorry, I could not actually see the chat, by the way, while doing this. I do not have a second screen. So I was forced to do it on my own. So what were you guys saying? Insane raids or sexual harassment? I mean, she did start it. He did the sexual harassment first. He's just eating it back. He's just that much of a freak. Yeah, using the background music. Only this breed at the end was written by Kinoko Nasu. Who's that? Sima tries his best to make paint work. I'm normally good at paint, right? And I feel like this is good work. But it just took me 30 years. The way SFX along with music is great. Nasu's face writer. Ah, I see. Which is where like all the sex stuff comes from. Oh, really? Well, I can't wait. And then he fucking kills him. Kim Kardashian? No, I don't think that's the same thing, Mac. I don't think that's the same thing. At all. At all. I just remembered. Okay, I gotta bring it up. Someone gotta remind me at the end of the stream. I just remembered that I think I solved part of the episode 2. I wrote it down on the side, but I think I solved a part of it. And when I mean the part, it's like 50%. Which is not nothing. But yeah. Let's keep going. Rosa eventually regained her calm. The man wanted to hurry her into talking faster, but Kiri intervened. If something like that really had happened, then it would have been a terrible experience that Rosa wouldn't want to remember. After taking several deep breaths with her hand over her chest, it seemed that she had more or less resolved herself to talk. Okay, this may seem like a dumb question, but which came first, Danganronpa or Umineko? I need to know, which of the two came first? How old was I then? I wonder. Middle school, probably? Oh, I don't remember well. Anyway, I think I was about that age. Which means, maybe about 20 years ago. Back then, my grades weren't very good. My mother was always angry at me. Sexual harassing furniture. Amazing. I gotta say, right? It was 19 years ago that Beatrice was alive. And we had this conversation. So, thank you, Renove, for confirming that Rosa didn't actually kill her. Very, very much thanks. Because the conversation was 19 years ago and this is 20. I tried to do my best in my own way, but I couldn't match up to Mother's expectations at all. Mother was always very strict with Rosa. I sympathized with her at the time. You say that, even though you were always talking behind her back. Would you give it a rest, Eva? And then? Why did you meet Beatrice, Rosa? Hideyoshi, you mustn't rush her now. It's okay, Rosa. Tell us at your own pace. Thank you. It was a day I'd been harshly scolded by Mother. Okay, genuine question. When did Umineko release? Since 2010. It was released in 2010. Okay. Late 2000s? Okay. So, I think Danganronpa might have stolen Kiri from Umineko. That's what I wanted to check. Because, that one detective girl
from Danganronpa 1. It feels essentially the same as Kiri, but like a flenderized version. If you've played Danganronpa, you know what I mean. If you've played it, you know. Danganronpa is in mid. Because mid means mediocre. It means it has no value. Danganronpa is bad. But the kind of bad you just love to watch, right? It is so bad. And it's so funny as a result. The plot makes no sense. The intrigue, like the puzzles are not that complicated. But the voice acting is so ass. It's so funny. It's so fucking funny. Along with that, just the general corny writing. It's great. It's genuinely great. I love this. Alright. Even though my teacher had promised to keep it a secret. Apparently. I told Mother all about how I had complained. Mother scolded me brutally, saying my name was a disgrace to the Ushurmiya family. Of course, I was doing the best I could. But I had none across Nissan's dignity. I couldn't get excellent grades like Eva. And I had no leadership abilities like Rudolph. I never stood out. Didn't particularly excel at anything. And I found myself asking why I'd even been born into the Ushurmiya family. You've been born to kill Beatrice. That's what. I began to question more and more why I'd even been born at all. This is what happened on the day I experienced my mind going blank for the first time. For the first time in my life. I realized that in addition to facing the surrounding with my problems, I had the third choice of running away. So I say run away, there was no way I could have left Rokunjima and gone somewhere else. But anyway, I wanted to run away from the mansion and my own self at that time. In a way, I was like a kid running away from home. Or maybe a passive sort of suicide. I wanted to disappear. Or maybe it was that childlike form of resistance where I tried to make my parents worry by disappearing. I childishly thought that if I went into the center of the forest, escaped from the Ushurmiya house, and maybe became lost, and make them worry and teach them a lesson. And then, you went into the forest that you were told never to enter. Yes. After reaching the beach, I followed alongside the ocean. I didn't have any particular reason, but I felt that if I went around to the opposite side of the island, there might be a place there that no one knew about, which might become a hidden house, just for me. If you go around by the beach, that would be impossible. It becomes a cliff part way, right? There's no way you could pass that way. Of course. So I kept going wherever I could. The ship getting me deeper and deeper inland. Terrible forest without any paths. That was comforting to me, but then... Okay, this geography stuff is pretty interesting. Give me a second. Sorry to take another break, but like, I feel this is important. Right? So we need to expand this. Oh. What? No. What? Oh, it's here. We need to expand this. So I think the best way to do this would be freeform selection tool, my beloved. Okay. We don't need a circle. The circle is restricted for no particular reason. Here we go. And the beach does not stop, in fact. It keeps going up, right? And then at some point, there is a cliff up there. Because I highly think that part of the riddle will depend on the geography of the place. I think it's important that I note down these details. No, not bold and not that big. Impossible to pass. And takes you further inland. Which, by the way, I realize now. Oh, fuck. I'm not bothering to rewrite all that. Fuck it. I'm just deleting this. Here we go. It's just gonna be a bit of a circle through the text. Like, the cliff should be way higher. Like right here, right? Way higher. And then there's gonna be this forest here. And then here we go. All right, we're gonna surround it by forest. Perfect map. I might actually do this just to like make it more comprehensible that it's a beach for future reference. No, that's not how I want it. That's not how I want it. Where is the hole? Right here. Yeah, everywhere else connected. Yeah, perfect. Alright. And we're gonna make a short path here. This is what Rokenjima looks like in Battler's Mind right now. Okay, do you think... Alright, genuine question. Do you think Battler is keeping mental note of like everything that's happening in the story via something like this, right? Is this the chart that Battler is making in his mind? I think it is. I think it is. By the way, speaking of making a chart in your mind, right? Speaking of that, I'm gonna go to the toilet really quick and then drink a bit of water. BRB. Hi. Hello, I'm back. Okay. Anyways, let's get back into it. If I could make it through such a dangerous forest, I would be that much further away from the Ushiromiya family. Oh, shameful! If you were scolded because of your grades, all you had to do was work harder. You mustn't say that. Doesn't Rosa have her talent as a designer instead? Literally speaking, it was covering for Rosa, but everyone knew that Rosa's company hadn't been profitable.
Quit it. This is no time for sarcasm. So, we managed to end up there by coincidence. Beatrice's hidden mention. Rosa nodded weakly. About how far did you walk? Could you show it to us on the map? Sweet, do you have a map of this island? If they show a map of the island after I spent so much time drawing it, I'm fucking shooting myself. No, there isn't one here now. Thank God, thank God. It wouldn't help. I was just walking randomly. Even if you gave me a map, I wouldn't know. And 20 years have passed since then. I probably couldn't reach it again even if I went into the forest. And especially not in this weather. You got a battalion of rosas. That's gotta be one of my favorite parts of this chart. Like, definitely, look at this. It's so good. Several people let out dejected sighs. It was vividly clear that in their haste, they thought some hint related to witch's epitaph. Maybe even the goal itself might be resting here. Rokkenjima. Only the land around the mansion is ready to be developed on. Yeah, actually, wait. Okay, sorry for interrupting again, but... Behold the Sweetfish River running from my beloved hometown. Would the hometown be that then? And behold the Sweetfish River be... Beatrice? Then you gotta follow Beatrice? No. No, okay, no, the Sweetfish River. The hometown, it doesn't care about the hometown, it's completely destroyed. I guess Rokkenjima is hometown, right? So there must be some sort of river, or at least something that would look like a river, on this island. And as you travel down it, you will find the mansion. And then look for the shorter two, will tell you off, I have no idea. At that point, I don't know. The rest is completely uncultivated. And it probably would take a lot of work to survive the entire island. But just knowing that it actually exists is helpful. It would take some money, but if we enlisted an aerial photography company to investigate, or ask the businessman who constructed this mansion about what happened at the time, we could probably find some way to search for it. Yes, Kiri. We got a smart one here. She doesn't know that, like, she's gonna die. But, you know. If Kiri dies again on first night... Alright, like, straight up, if Kiri dies on the first twilight again, I will be very upset. I will scream, cry, stomp my foot on the ground. A steel will come out of my ears. But let me be clear. At least we have more options now, as opposed to when we weren't sure it existed. Indeed. And maybe worth investigating right away. The siblings will do that investigation together. We won't leave you on your own, Ethan. We wasn't certain yet that the gold was hidden in that secret mansion. But the spark seemed to have started flying between Cross and Eva already. Give it a rest for now. You too. Rosa, please continue. Yes. Yeah, true, Ama. Spinning the chessboard around. Yeah, Kiri would be the first target every time. I mean, not really. In episode 2, she admitted the existence of the witch. Like, again, I am not forgetting any fucking detail from this story. At the start of episode 2, we had a short section where every single sibling admitted in the chapel that they admitted, like, Beatrice's existence and that magic is real, including Kiri and Hideyoshi and Natsui. That's because it is true. Absolute truth.
I have a Truth Nuke picture of like a battler, right? Instead of the sword jack. But I can't find it anymore. It's over. I love that one. Blindly, randomly, I kept running on and on. Suddenly, I came across something I thought was an animal trail. I was very tired, and I had no idea how far I'd walked. So at that time, I naturally took the easiest path. As I did. Animal trail, maybe that's the Sweetfish River then. As I did, suddenly, right before my eyes, a very, very tall fence appeared. It was a fence wonderfully adorned in a Gothic style. For an instant, I thought I'd go and turned around and returned to the original mansion. That would be great. Of course, there were fences around the mansion to stop us from entering the forest. I know something, like, I know a cartoon actually pulled up the I'm the one who killed it. And like everyone pulls up and says, no, I'm the one. But I don't remember which one. But I do remember the scene made me laugh a lot. It was very tall. It probably reached a full 2 stories up. Damn. But like, let's be honest, after 20 years, I wouldn't manage to scale that. Like, I'm not saying this as in like, I would because I'm that strong. Look at this. There are footholds everywhere over this fucking thing. Take off your shoes, put your foot there, use your hands. You can absolutely get over that fence, right? And from the top of that fence, you grab on the other side and, you know, reach around. If I was stuck for 20 years in this fucking mansion, I'm telling you, like, after 5 years, at most, I would fucking try that. Like, it's not that hard. It really isn't that hard. This stream is sponsored by the easiest fence to climb in the world. There's some company out there that specializes into making fence that don't actually protect anything. When has Rosa ever displayed anything? No, I'm talking about Beatrice. I'm talking about Beatrice who's like stuck there. Who was stuck there for fucking a billion years, right? Like, she was stuck there for 30 years, and you tell me that she never tried. Just climb. Yeah, it would be another, if it had barbed wire, right? I agree. If it was barbed wire, but like even then, in 5 years, or even 10 years, I would have figured out a way to cut down the barbed wire. Like, come on. Are you telling me you wouldn't have figured out like a way to make cheap scissors? It's a full mansion. There are cutlery. I don't know. It is dumb. The dumbest fence ever. Why are there arts? That's the thing, right? If there were no arts, this thing would be impossible to scale. But there are none. Okay. It was covered with ivy, created a mysterious southern atmosphere. At the time, I believed in the legend of the witch of the forest, Beatrice. I had been told that she was frightening. But some of the servants told me that she sometimes helped you if you respected her. Since I had little confidence in those days, I believed the only way I could be saved was by receiving her help. Because Kinzo loves Beatrice. You would never hurt her by putting barbed wire. That's why I thought what I did. I believed that this was the fence of the mansion belonging to Beatrice, the witch of the forest. I thought that if I could meet Beatrice, she can't even save herself. Like, the continent is not even that far. It's probably like 1 or 2 kilometers away. I could swim that. I barely know how to swim. But I'm telling you, if my life depends on it,
I could swim 1 or 2 kilometers. Like, come on. Alright, I'm gonna stop shitting on her, but like, Beatrice, you suck. So I decided to try going in. The fence was very, very tall. I didn't look like I'd be able to go over it. So I chose to walk around it. I thought if I did, I would eventually reach the gate. Yeah, the dress is too expensive to rip. But it wasn't that easy. The fence had an incredible length to match its incredible height. And no matter how far I went, I didn't reach a corner. I might have encircled a massive area. Maybe I just had an impression, because my child's leg made it difficult to walk through the forest. Anyway, I couldn't find a gate for a while. No, you don't. No, you misunderstand, Sefik. This is okay, because you weren't here, right? It's important. All right. First of all, because you didn't see this, you need to read this. No. Fucked up. Wait. Okay. Here. Beatrice is dead. I killed her. That's what Rosa said. Okay. And here is the important part. There is a hidden mansion in the forest where Beatrice was kept prisoner. Right? And we don't know where. And it's massive apparently. And it did happen. And it happened 20 years ago. While she was still alive 19 years ago. It's not like the most gaff game of tag ever. It does. Anyway, I couldn't find a gate for a while, and I started to feel sad, as though the witch had rejected me. As I did, I eventually came upon a large tree, whose thick root has bent the fence. I might get my clothes dirty, but if I crawled, it looked like I'd be able to sneak in. And there you found the hidden mansion. I don't know if it was the hidden mansion we've been talking about. Still, at the very least, it wasn't a place that we know of. It wasn't as though I came out into a garden as soon as I passed the fence. I had to continue through a lot more uncultivated forest after that. Okay. And then she got blinded by the sun. As I did, the forest suddenly opened up, and what appeared there was an unbelievably fantastical scene. To think that on Rokenjima, where I thought only we lived, there could be such a wonderful mansion hidden away. A beautiful flower garden spanned the front of the mansion. It was a flower garden of complete different design from the rose garden we know so well. It was very lovely. Of course, the mansion was also wonderful. It was a couple sizes smaller than ours, but it was still elegant and adorable at the same time. Then, I saw a figure. I saw her sitting in the garden chair, positioned to give a view of the flower garden, wearing an elegant dress. It was that black dress, embroidered in gold, I will later know from that portrait. Shouldn't you already know it? Like, the portrait exists since before you were born. I hadn't seen an elegant dress. No, it doesn't. I guess it's when she died that the portrait was made. I hadn't seen an elegant dress like that except in fairy tales and on the stage of musicals. For a person to be wearing it as a normal clothes, that in itself seemed quite fantastical. That mysterious scene was enough to make me lose my sense of reality. If someone had told me then that it was a dream, I might have nodded obediently and waited to wake up in my bed. I had forgotten to hide myself in my shock, so she eventually spotted me. At first, her expression was quite listless, but when she noticed me, her eyes opened very wide. It was only natural, considering that a guest she didn't know had suddenly appeared. I lowered my head automatically, planning to greet her and apologize for entering without permission, but then she screamed and ran away. Who are you? The new gardener? Those were the first words she said to me. I grew slightly calmer, because I realized that we could talk to each other. Because I had been turned into a frog just by meeting her eyes, like a terrifying witch in a fairy tale. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have entered the garden without permission. Who are you? Name yourself. I am Yoshiromiya Rosa. Yoshiromiya. Oh, what of Kinzo's family? Huh? Yes! I'm Kinzo's daughter. Good afternoon. I was a little surprised. After all, Papa was a great man, hated by everyone. And yet, she had spoken of him without using honorifics. So I was immediately terrified of her. After all, if you could refer to my fearsome Papa that way, you must be a witch with incredible power. True! After staring at me curiously, she beckoned me to come over. Frightened as it was, I obeyed. After all, I thought she might really turn me into a frog. The closer I got, the stronger that fear became. After all, as I keep saying over and over, that woman in a dress and the flower garden in the mansion, that whole picture was so fantastical and beautiful that it seemed separate from reality. It probably wouldn't have surprised me at all to learn that she really was a witch. And I really was lucky. She hadn't turned me into a frog. As I awkwardly stood there, stock still, she motioned to an open chair and urged me to sit down. Have a seat. This looks ass. Welcoming and speaking to those who visit this garden for the first time is my sole pleasure. Of course, I have no pleasures other than that. As she said this, she let an unhappy smile show for an instant. Because I was full of a strange mix of tension and excitement, I rudely asked her a question. All of a sudden. Digi, woo! Yeah! But it's not animated yet. Beatrice is part giraffe. Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's what upset me about this. Are you the witch of the forest? Beatrice? Indeed, I am Beatrice. As I thought, Beatrice actually existed. Did she really look like the portrait? Yes, really, just like the portrait. No. I'm sorry, but he said like 8 words and it was translated so, and then he said 2 words and it was translated to all of that. It wasn't just a witch from Papa's imagination. What did you talk to her about? She prepared some tea. She asked me all kinds of things about myself. First, you were surprised that I had come from the forest. Seems she believes that many dangerous wolves lived outside the fence. Oh, that's why she doesn't climb over it. When I told her I come from the forest to reach the place, she was shocked. She asked how I managed to escape from the wolves. Did I give them a biscuit and they let me go? Or did I cover myself in a magic cloak? That's sure sounds like a witch. What an interesting person. Quiet dear, this goes way back. But didn't have a friend in us saying we should never get near the forest because of the wolves that live there? Wait, I did say something of the sort. Ridiculous! Even the Japanese wolves went extinct long ago. Probably a trick to fool children. Hell yeah. Maybe Beatrice beat up Rosa. Rosa killed her by accident, and now Rosa imitates Beatrice on Maria. Wait, is that the reason why she ate Maria for liking Beatrice? Because it
Remind her of the person she killed. That would make sense. That would make sense. I don't remember though. Did that really tell us something like that? It was a witch of the forest, right? I don't think I've ever heard about wolves. This was when you were still in elementary school. Don't you remember? Back then, you actually said you thought it'd be cool to try petting the wolves. I immediately gave up the wolf story and changed it to the story about the witch. Seriously, what transparent lies they were. At the time, the witch story had a much more immediate effect on you, Rudolph. The wolves. I remember it well. Don't you remember those nights when you clung to my back? Giggle. I see. Even Rudolph used to be that cute. Shut up! I was just a kid. No, at any rate, if I was the one who shut Beatrice up in there, it makes sense that he'd use the same story about wolves. Really? The fast threat to Rokujima was a wolf that should have been crushed. Dividing is two incompatible words. You sure me a family, and his mistress hasn't mentioned. Considering the height of that fence, the son has still five returned that whole area, got a know, in Jen jail cell. Didn't think well of witches. Why? Rudolph isn't dick. Witches are just like generally nice people. Just like a border dividing these two separate worlds. Wolves aside, could there have been some breed of stray dogs there at the time? Perhaps the fence was there to protect against those. Naturally, if that was the case, the fence would not be 2 stories tall. Idiot. There aren't any wolves or stray dogs in Rokujima. Voice crack. The fence was probably the border between us and Beatrice. If you instantly believe a story about wolves, that's pretty naive. We got for Kinzo once again. Hell yeah! That's fair, Sapphic. I would do that. I would do that. That's nothing like what I expect a witch to do. You're right. I've sensed that too. She was very pompous, just like my image of a witch. But she was somehow very childish. She was, how should I put it, too straightforward. She gave the impression that she didn't know anything about the world. It was as though she'd come from some fairy tale land. He really was a strange person. What happened after that? Did you end up talking about that at all? Yes. Once every few days, usually in arranged names, but sometimes suddenly. Father will come casually appear and they drink together. Or take a walk together or something. She said she just happened to be alone on the day of visitor. I see. A obvious mistress, you might say. My. I don't know how much younger she was, but good for father. Cross, we should lock you up and kill you. We should lock you up and put you down. I think that would be for the best. You can be sure this was no indecent relationship. Natsui, what makes you think this? You have literally no reason to think otherwise. Idiot, there's no way love is meeting between a man and a woman wouldn't have some sensuality. What happened next? What did you talk about after that? I'd already introduced myself, so I asked her. When I did, the atmosphere quickly grew depressing. How should I put it? It seemed to grow listless and lonely. It was that same expression I saw on her face in the beginning. She wasn't the mistress after all. And she just walked around, wherever she liked. Mom might have found her. I'll bet she was practically under house arrest.
Even though she had beautiful clothes, a beautiful mansion, and a garden. She must have felt very cramped. I'll bet she had it rough. I did not expect Rudolph of all people to empathize with her. Not gonna lie. And then?
彼女はきっと何か悩みがあった。それを私に話したと私もとても悲しかったのを覚えてる。
I remember feeling really sad myself when I realized it was something I could do anything about by talking to her.
私と一緒に
I seemed to forget I was even there.
忘れてしまったかのようで遠くを
She gazed vaguely off into the distance and was silent for a long, long time.
私はきっと
I thought I must have said something wrong. But it didn't seem to be the type of atmosphere where I could apologize. So I remained silent for a long, long time. She remembered I was there. Rudolph is the only like other person who seemed to don't be an asshole to his wife. Yeah, and the other beings ago, indeed, right? But like everyone else so far has been kind of a dick. I mean, no, you forgot Rosa's husband because he's dead. So you can't be a dick to Rosa because he's dead. Okay, okay. Here's my trick to fix hiccups, right? Here's the hiccup I'm having. I'm gonna tell myself that I don't have it anymore. I'll just make myself think I don't have it anymore. Watch this. It's not working. I really thought it would work, but on top of that, there's thunder now. That's cool. Let's hope the electric grid hack that happened in Spain doesn't happen here again. No, it doesn't happen in here either. It didn't happen like in my part of France, at least. You probably can't hear that thunder. Alright, it's fixed. No more hiccup. Hiccup doesn't exist anymore. Wait, what? Always the thunder, but no rain whatsoever. What the fuck? Is that even possible? There is literally no rain, but thunder is rumbling. That's a weird one. Then she muttered unexpectedly. You're right, Beatrice. Reading the wall beyond the fence? No rain or lightning. Huh. Ah, yes, that's right. We know there's lightning. I see flashes of light too. I know I see flashes of light because whenever there's something like outside my periphery that happens, my eye just snaps around instantly. Which is very annoying when it's a bug, right? Because when I'm streaming, there's a bug that passes by my eyes. Instantly, my entire head turns around 90 degrees within the span of 1 second. Huh? Yes, that's right. I've never seen wolves. Not even in the zoo. Thank you. I am an idiot. Okay. Have there really no wolves beyond the border? Yes, that's right. I've never seen wolves, not even in a zoo. What is a zoo? It's a place where they keep all kinds of animals.
full of rare animals like elephants and giraffes like you and pandas. She's not dumb, she's just been locked away for her entire life. So, there aren't any wolves in the zoo? Damn, it might not be so scary. Even if there were wolves, all those animals are put in cages, so it's safe. That's why you can safely look at them and learn about them. The Mechi Witch of the Forest was apparently terrified of wolves. I remember it looked pretty funny to me at that time. How am I any different? Huh? She didn't know about zoos. I explained how fun zoos could be, but it was very difficult for a person like her, who had never visited one, to understand. On the contrary, as I explained it to her, her expression grew increasingly dismal. She couldn't see the difference. Apparently, even though she lived in an elegant mansion that was surrounded by a high fence and seemed to lack for nothing, she couldn't see how she was any different from animals shut up in cages. Who am I? Everyone calls me Beatrice. And that doesn't even seem to be the name of a great witch, as you say. But that isn't me. I cannot use any magic. I simply have the soul of that witch sealed inside my body. Huh? There is definitely something odd about her. Beyond just being cut off from the world, it seems she truly believed that magic exists. Which is weird because magic does not exist. Hi, Fufu. I think she talked about lots of weird things, but I don't remember the details. What I thought was that it might be a person to be pitied. Indeed, she was unable to leave this mansion of her own free will, a prisoner, without even realizing it. She didn't know anything about the outside world, didn't even understand who she was. She probably vaguely realized that she was to be pitied. But since she didn't know anything, she seemed incapable of recognizing her own unhappiness. Long ago, when I told Nissan that I felt sorry for her bird in the cage, he said this: "A bird that only knows about the inside of a cage doesn't long for the outside." No, you can't see it. That's Kinzo, that's literally Kinzo. But this wasn't a bird. He really was a person. Even if she'd never been outside the cage, she understood that there was more to the world, especially when servants come in and out constantly. So, I invited her. Do you want to try going outside the fence? If it turns out that fucking Kinzo comes in with a gun and shoots her for leaving, that would be amazing. There really aren't any wolves? There aren't. You'll definitely be safe. I want to leave, but the gate is always closed. There's a place I came through. It's got a crack you can slip through. Go through there. Will there be a world outside? Yes. There really aren't any wolves? You go. There aren't any. It's 7 to 5,000. Okay, no. Right? Okay. Don't forget. Important. Right? This is extremely relevant. It's a 50 feral dogs culprit theory. 100% the extinct wolves actually exist on the island. It is absolutely the case, and you know it. Oh, Umineko will attack Beatrice on sight when she leaves. True. Animals did it. Animals did all of episode 2. Anyways. Okay. Eagle. Hey, there aren't any. I only planned on inviting her to go on a short walk, but she kept looking over her shoulder at the mansion, so she was seriously worrying about the decision. Then, I learned what she was preparing herself for. I had enough of this place. I want to go outside. Gives her a permanent aggro fire. I want to know who I am. What's happening in this world? And why I was born. I didn't know what her life had been like before then. It was probably something she couldn't express easily. If it was harsh, she just had to say she wanted to escape. If it was sweet, she just had to say she'll stay. For example, the beat was like a hot fireplace on a winter day, makes the air get thicker and thicker, giving you a headache. Even though you shouldn't keep things the way they are, you still need courage to open the window and be tormented by the cold. She was starting to realize that she couldn't stay there forever. She was starting to realize she had to go outside someday. But since she didn't know about the outside world, she must have needed courage to take that unspeakable first step outside. And despite that, she had made a decision. She'd voiced her decision to go outside, a decision she was probably making for the first time in her life. I hesitated for a moment. Faber had decided that she should leave here. She was like Faber's beloved bird in a cage. I just let her escape. Faber might scold me harshly. You think? I want to see. Huh? What? I want to see a zoo! Ah! I was just a little surprised when she finally gave me a gentle smile. Could that have been the farsightedness brought about by her decision to venture out from the cage? Was the smile so gentle? I couldn't imagine that it had come from that once dark face. When I speak with you, I keep hearing about things I don't know. I don't even know about this thing called school. Nor do I know about zoos. I don't know about movie theaters. I don't know about amusement parks. Then I feel from the bottom of my heart that I want to know about those things. Will you take me to see them? Huh? Yes! I was nervous about how I could keep a secret from Faber. But her face looked so happy, so I went along with her and nodded. She seemed not to notice the meaning behind my vague smile. It seemed to be that I would really take her to all those places. She was pure and genuine. She'd probably never been tricked by anyone. No, maybe it's better to say that she never learned how to doubt. Her smile was somehow radiant and yet pathetic. I wanted to find a way to grant her her mother's wish. At what point does she kill Beatrice? I haven't enough of Beatrice. I want to know who I am. I want to start out as a new human, not Beatrice. So I want you to take me away from you. I don't need tea anymore. I don't need this dress. She gets completely naked. I won't meet with Kinzo again. Please take me from there. Rosa. However, that responsibility was one that a child like me couldn't hope to fully bear. Still, when I saw that her serious gaze, along with that brilliant smile that made it look as so possessing spirit had left her, it felt a little courage start to rise up inside me. This was definitely something that would get me into a lot of trouble. And yet, it was definitely the right thing to do. I don't know how it will turn out, but I'll take her away from you. She dies. That's how it turns out. Of course, I won't be able to talk to Faber and not Mother either. Should I talk to Oni-sama or, okay, the brother and sister? No, what about the reliable Genji-san? They're not gonna do anything. That's how it happened. Georgie isn't even born yet, but he still killed her. Oh, that's right. What about Kumasawa? Kumo can always talk when I'm in trouble. By the way, Sapik, I don't know if you were here. No, you were. You were. Because, like, your hatred for George is so outspoken, I thought you should know that he is, like, 23 years old and dating is 16 years old. I think it's a pretty important fact about him to know. This is a really good song, yeah. I have not mentioned it, but this is good. This is definitely a good song. I feel they'd be able to do something. Anyway, for now, I'll pick her out of here. This was already a place she didn't want to be. So, I took her to the crack in the fence and led her outside. She was all nervous, picking to make sure there were no walls around. But once that she disappeared, even just walking around this dense forest seemed to be fun somehow. Every time she found something, she'd ask me about it. And they were all Really trivial things. What's that flower? What's that leaf? And the sound? And the smell? It really was like the inside of the fence had been her entire world. But now that she traveled beyond the limits of her world. It's strange. When I first saw her, I really thought she was a witch herself, relaxing inside the witch's mansion. I gotta say, the entire time, 100%, Cross and Rudolph are just looking at her, no, Cross and Eva, especially, are just looking at her like, "Hurry that bitch, tell us when you killed her." 100%, they're like, actually pissed off on the sides. Cute to Rich, eh? Yeah. I still don't forgive her for, like, everything she did, or will do. Relaxing inside the witch's mansion. But now it was different. Wait. I want to check. No. Okay. Or actually, it's the complete opposite. She'd left the world she'd believed to be finite. I was overjoyed at the realization that the world was endless. Something she'd never thought of before. So everything she saw was new. It was almost as though she was the one who had been thrown into a fairy tale. If she was Alice, then I felt almost like a rabbit holding a watch. I mean, literally considering you made her crawl through a hole. To her, it was probably a really fun walk, filled to the brain with excitement. And then the wolves appeared. But I was actually at a loss at what to do. After all, I walked randomly to get there. Of course, I didn't know the way back to our mansion. The island is small, just walk forward. Like, we're not talking about the forest in a big place. The island isn't that big, it's like 3 kilometers in a radius. Just walk forward. Like, don't get lost, like, turning around. Just forward. And you'll reach the beach. And then you'll be able to, like, circle around. It really isn't that complicated, Rosa. There are no lights in the forest, and I hadn't brought a flashlight. Evil and intimidating Kinzo just pops up from the bushes. Okay, give me a second. Here we go. And I hadn't brought a flashlight. I realized it would be terrible if it got dark while we were still like this, and grew impatient. She was too innocent, and apparently she couldn't understand at all how frightening it would be to face the night inside the forest. But I was the one who brought her outside. I had to take responsibility somehow, and resolve this situation. So I had a thought. Let's go out to the ocean for now. If we then follow the beach around, we should eventually make it back to the mansion. Okay, she has some brain. That was much more of a problem than I'd imagined. I didn't have a map or a compass. There was no way I could walk in a straight line through an uncultivated forest. I immediately lost my sense of direction. What do you mean? Since when can you not walk in a line? I already had no clue which rail I had gone down and was completely lost. At this rate, that would definitely fall before I had a clue where to walk. It was no time to cry. Yeah, because you're not a seagull. After all, that woman following me was so innocent and having so much fun. So I definitely had to lead the way through this forest, for the sake of her smile as well. Gritting my teeth so that she didn't see me look trouble, I pushed my way through the woods, dancing down a path that wasn't a path. Then, after going through various troubles, I fortunately managed to reach the ocean. At that time, I still didn't even have a clue where I was on the island. For the time being, I was just a little reassured. Realizing that if I just went around this way, I would surely be able to return to the mansion. However, though I had reached the ocean, we were at the top of a rock cliff. The beach was far below us. I was tired from walking around the forest for so long, so I figured that an open area, even a rock beach, would probably be much easier to walk in. So I just suggested that we go down to... Oh. I see how she dies now. It looked pretty dangerous, but I figured there was no other way. However, Beatrice agreed to my plan without any doubt. Even though she was probably older than me, she meekly obeyed, almost as though she was some kind of chick. I thought I was her mother. I searched to see if there was some part of the cliff I'd be able to get down. Then I found the place where the cliff had fallen over and made a slope. It looked a little dangerous, but if I went down using both hands and both legs, like I was crawling.
I thought it'd probably be a bit okay. Let's go down here. It'd be dangerous if we aren't careful, but if we go down the beach and walk along it, I don't think we'll have to worry about getting lost anymore. Indeed. If that's what you're doing, I'll go too. Even getting lost is fun for me. Quite amusing. He really had no sense of danger. There's probably no doubt that she'd live the life without discomfort. Even though she knew it would get dark when night fell, she couldn't imagine how dangerous the inside of the forest could be without a light. Furthermore, I think that she couldn't grasp at all how dangerous it might be if she fell from the cliff. I wondered repeatedly to be careful. I cautiously examined the potential route down. It seemed to be quite a long drop. I think it might have been about 10 meters down. If you looked at it from the bottom up, probably have looked shorter than the roof as I mentioned. But looking from the top, it felt almost like staring down from the observation room on Tokyo. Tokyo has a tower? Really? But Beatrice still appeared to be completely without fear. It felt as though she had never even been taught that high places were dangerous. Exactly, Sapphic. No, maybe she believed that she was a witch. She could fly, so there wasn't any need to worry. Exactly. Please be careful. We're pretty high up. Indeed. I shall be careful. It looks like we can get to the ocean if we get down. There's an aquarium there. No, there aren't any aquarium on the island. But there should be lots of fish in the sea. I see. Well, there are fish. Are there, whales and dolphins and penguins, like you talked about? No, you'd have to go to an aquarium for those. You'd have to leave this island to find an aquarium. So, Nanoka. Rumia in chat, by the way. Wait, this is literally Rumia! Oh my god, wait! No, she's literally Rumia, now that I think about it. How did I not notice? Whoa, wait. No! Like, wait! Alright, okay. Resize to like, okay, 400. Okay, keep her to the side. Alright. Wait. Wanna just... Yes, I can. Wait, no, I'm stupid. I should do the usual freeform selection. There we go. It's gonna be sloppy, but it's gonna work out, trust. Doesn't work. Wait. No, I know. I know how to fix it. It's a face that needs to not change, but the hair. What if we rotate the hair? That's literally her. That is literally her. Oh my god. That is just her. Right there. Then we take like the color of the clouds. Okay, just... Here we go. This is some fantastic discovery I just made there. Right? Right there. You cannot see the difference. It is impossible to see the difference, and if you pretend otherwise, you are a liar. Let's be clear about this. Like this. This is perfect. This is so good. This is so good. I never realized it, but Beatrice genuinely is Rumia too. This is insane. And considering that like 2 was already a thing, and 2.6 like was released way before Umineko started, do you think this is the case? I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, this is gonna go viral. Hey. And Jessica is Marisa. Oh, does this go? I wonder which 2s are the other characters. I'm sure other characters are 2s for sure. But I never realized that Beatrice is literally Rumia. Well, I'm looking forward to it. What kind of fish are whales? Wait. If I do this, right? Do we get to hear Solanoka again? Solanoka. What kind of fish are whales? Whales are fish. They're not mammals. Don't listen to the whale propaganda. They're really big fish. Aren't they mammals? I thought you were better, Rosa. They spit seawater into the air. Mammal supremacy propaganda. Oh, and dolphins? Aren't they really smart fish? Oh, weren't they also mammals? They're really smart. Can be taught tricks and stuff. Maybe you should teach Beatrice how to like secure a foothold. No. Then what about penguins? Weren't they birds? What's going on? We're talking about aquariums, but none of these things seem to be fish. They just aren't around just fish. It's full of all kinds of things that live in the ocean. Oh, already I'm looking forward to that. Did you be so cool to jump off cliffs? That's literally what she's doing. She let out what might have been a funny, rushed and short cry. No, it was probably a scream. Came right out of the blue. Body separated from the cliff and silently fell. I immediately wanted to say something to her. I wanted to say, didn't they tell you to be more careful? It was the thought of a child. Because a child immediately gets mad when something bad happens, trying to find an excuse to show it wasn't their fault. Of course I said it out loud. Are you okay? Didn't I warn you over and over? So, she fell from the cliff, and then what? What happened to her? Rosa. Rosa fell silent. Her gaze dropped to her feet, as though she were seeing through the floor into some disgusting memory. Died, didn't she? Eva's brutal words were the ones Rosa had most wanted to avoid, and when she was hit with them, she screamed in resignation. Yeah, she died! It was a rocky beach with blood of sharp, dangerous rocks exposed. Her eyes were still open. An incredible amount of blood kept pouring out, quickly spreading out until it looked like a red carpet. I spoke to her, shook her, but she refused to respond, not even to blink. No, she wouldn't even close her eyelids. It was my fault. She was wearing a dress, remember? Even though I knew her outfit was difficult to moving, I said we should go down the cliff. She was incredibly innocent, so she obeyed what I said without any doubts. How long do you plan on remaining dead? Open your eyes already. Yeah, you're turning into a lump of meat all by yourself while I'm gone. I was just flirting with your Nishan friends. More importantly, what the heck's going on here? He just dies and then comes back and he's just being a dickhead. God, I love this guy. Well, as you can see, I missed my footing, fell down, and died. But they said it's 20 years ago. So can the discussion happen 19 years? What the hell? Even though you showed up as a 90 person, you were already dead? Don't mess with me, that's impossible. Oh, and Rosa was a kid and she panicked. And it's not like a doctor was there. She probably just mistakenly thought you were dead. You're probably alive and pretending to be dead or something. Isn't that right? It can't be true. You've got to be alive. The red truth. Otherwise, how can she be here? The kid agent Rosa shook Beatrice's body, crying. I stared into that face too. But her eyes were still open, and it really was a corpse. I wanted to dodge the issue by saying something vague like, she must be playing dead. But no matter how I looked at it, it didn't look fake at all. It really did look like she was dead. Beatrice had fallen upside down from a cliff of that height, and her head had smashed against the pointed tip of those sharp rocks. Yeah, you probably would die after landing on those rocks. Well, would you show up as dead on this one, on the human side? Nope. No wonder Rosa Bismayan mentions the Beatrice. Yeah. Yeah, she had like a resurrection stone, like the technology that existed back in the 80s that we lost since then. Like the stone, but like when you hold it releases nanobots. Grab a reboot card. It's a robot. But I couldn't accept it. No matter how dead she looked, she had to be alive. And she went on, became this damn irritating witch. That makes all the inconsistencies fit. Grandfather must have kept her confined constantly in the 8th dimension. Then to take revenge for that, he committed several atrocious murders. Only Rosa probably just mistakenly thought she was dead. But she was actually alive. And as soon as Rola left, with miraculously breath again. And she somehow lived on until today. I opened the curtain on a revenge drama. Otherwise, the facts don't fit together. Red truth. I won't let you trick me so easily. Can you repeat it in red? That she's certainly dead. She has to be alive, right? It's obvious. Does that look alive to you? It's definitely... It's... Not she. It. The corpse itself is dead. So that was a wolf in the forest. It was. Okay, that's important to note down. No, actually, it should be over here. We dressed it up and made it act like Beatrice. Yeah, that was the wolf. My period. The 19th person was grandfather's mistress. A human Beatrice had been defeated. Yeah, but like, they didn't say the 19th person was Beatrice. I had planned to strike back from a defensive position, but then, who are you? You just died, right? You tell me you revived yourself with magic? Cackle, cackle. I've already explained that, have I not? The me lying over there definitely possesses my soul, but that body's nothing more than a cage of flesh tying me to the physical world. Oopsie. Okay. That's it. Right. I plan to strike back from defensive position. Then who are you? You just died, right? Don't tell me you revived yourself from magic. I've already explained that. The me possesses my soul, but that body is nothing more than a cage of flesh. Here we go. This is how that cage of flesh was broken.
Do you understand what that means? I don't have a clue anymore. Keep having fun with witch girl tricks. I'll listen to that in place of a snack. What the? It's empty. Hey, could I get some more black tea? Okay, cool. I guess we'd like some tea. Mobito clapped her hands. Ronove appeared. Butler sure are convenient. How I feel, you say? Certainly. How much shall I pour you? Well, I've gotten more than enough snacks. That will be fine. Even so, filling it to the brim is the English custom. And when there's just enough to wet my throat would have been fine, he filled it to the top. Oh, consider it. Turned my back to Bido, dipping it in silence. He just wants to see Ronove. That's why he doesn't even ask for like he asks for a low amount, so he can ask for Ronove to like come back again as soon as possible. Hey, open your eyes! Beatrice! That shook me. No, shook the corpse that had once been me. I watched over her from a short distance away. Ah, so I fell from there and died. For a while I believed that was true. So I spent a long time beside my corpse and watched her as she ran away. Eventually, I realized I was a different individual from that corpse. That's right, I am me. I finally managed to escape from Kinzo's bonds. Eventually I felt the memory returning. The fact that I was an endless witch will live for 1,000 years. I remembered that I had been summoned by Kinzo, that I had been imprisoned by him for a long time. While being imprisoned in a cage of flesh, I completely lost my memory as a witch. However, thanks to Rosa, if you could say that, thanks to my accidental death, I have now finally regained myself. Rosa, you probably regret bringing about my death, but I should be thanking you. Cackle. I couldn't see Rosa anymore. Did she go to call a doctor, or was she so terrified that she ran away? It no longer matters. That soulless shell no longer has any value. And yet, I'm so frail now. Even this glorious midday sun is agony to me. I destroyed my human form, and I changed it into several gold butterflies. Yeah, my magic power, as far as it is now, this form is easier to maintain. To escape even a little from the light of the sun, I rode the wind and gently flew up the side of the cliff. She's a vampire? It will probably be a bit cooler in the forest. Anyway, I'll take some time to recuperate and regain my former power. The ponder to make Kinzo pay up all he owes me. Dancing alone through the air, I looked down at the shore one more time. On the rocky shore lay the figure of what once had been me, the figure I would eventually regain. I regained the form of that physical body I had thrown away. It would probably take more than 100, 200 days. It might require 1,000 days, or perhaps even more. However, I am the Endless Witch. The Golden Witch will live for 1,000 years. Waiting any comfortable number of days would be no problem. Oh, Kinzo. Regret that you are not here now. No longer will you be able to capture me. Cackle, cackle. My issue is that Beatrice said is dead. He didn't say she's dead or I'm dead there, right? She said it. She's treating it like an object. And then you change the gold butterflies in the forest and waiting for your magical power to be restored. Is that what you're saying? That is correct. I think this won't sneer at you, when most of the time it is easier magically for me to keep my form as gold butterflies. Hey, feel free to pick a load off and stick to whatever's easiest. I wouldn't mind not having to hear your irritating laugh. Cackle. When I turned into butterflies and slipped into the forest, it was already no longer possible for Kinzo to find me. However, Kinzo was not dismayed. He was not immediately able to prepare a way to catch me. So he first moved to prevent me from living in silence, and to keep me from regaining my power. My. At any rate, his spitefulness was unimaginable. Is that what the mirror was for? It was pretty tough to be loved by someone like that. Cackle, cackle. Found a way to keep you from leaving after you turned into butterflies? What, did he put a bug net around the entire forest? Indeed. Magical one! Didn't you know? On the sea in front of the arbor is a reef, upon which sits a small shrine of Eastern magic. Ah, that was gone by this year, though. It was a small shrine built long ago by Shugenja, right? From the very beginning, Rokujima has been an island enveloped by a distortion. It attracts things with magical power, and other related creatures. Milady herself is one of them. So about some more tea? Cackle, cackle, please. Well, armed to humans and probably left several eerie legends in their wake. The stomach ache they're going to get, like, a day later, when they realize that, like, for an entire day, all they ate was cookies and all they drank was tea. Their stomach is not gonna be happy with this. They're brought armed to humans and probably left several eerie legends in their wake. That small shrine was built in ancient times, but an Eastern magician word of them. A long time passed, and that power was lost. By repairing it, Kinzo restored the giant's barrier. They once again bound me to the island. She doesn't do it because she already ordered the stakelings to, like, do the same, right? The stakelings already, like, you know, as shown by this picture, Better already takes care of them. And in thanks of his devoted service, the stakelings continuously murder and torture him. I'm gonna stop once that chapter is over, and then I'll talk about what I figured out about episode 2. Can Eastern magic work on a Western witch like you? Not always, the affinity would be poor. However, for the purpose of sealing me here, it may have been quite convenient in a way. If it was Western magic, I would have had some knowledge. For any barrier, there would have been some measures I could have taken. But Eastern magic is outside my area of expertise. It was as if I had been given chopsticks instead of a spoon for some soup that I wanted to drink. You pick up the bowl, dumbass! In a space dominated by Eastern magic, Western magic loses much of its powers. Even if she were given 1,000 days to regain her strength, you would have to wait many, many more. So you're saying, it took you 20 years to regain your power, and now you're revived, as we can all see. Yeah, essentially, Sapphic. Or you just don't do that, you just take the bowl without the chopsticks. Because we're horribly long years. I spent many days in the form of gold butterflies, from Kinzo's mansion, watched over him every day. I lived through those days with no means to enjoy myself, except to ponder how I would get back at him. A period of 20 years was fortunate for me. Kinzo tried to use all sorts of magic to find and capture him, but each failed. There's a limit to how many miracles a single human can bring about. Even simply holding me captive for that long had been a miracle far above this place. This is false! Again, I want to point out that Runaway, Goat Nove, even. Let's point it out again. I'm sorry, give me a second. There we go. All's educational whiteboard. It looks great, doesn't it? This is my first time visiting an old Umineko stream. What the flying fuck am I looking at? Yeah, okay, it's a chart where I record like every important information about Umineko. right? Every time there's something that needs to be recorded, it's put there. So, you know, pretty useful. What the fuck is that good Nove? Yeah, it is. It is the goat. And he has the stickling body because that's funny. Also, someone said without mustache, he looks better, and I completely disagree. I don't know what people. What's with the cookie? Oh, they made like a point for like 30,000 words about a cookie and like an analogy with Empen's Raven, which was completely bullshit, by the way. I was talking about contrapositives, right? But it was always like forgetting to switch around the implication, so it made no sense. This one isn't like complete, right? Let me show you a complete shot, Cyclone, since you've never been here. This is episode 3, so let me show you episode 2. Right? This is all information that has helped me figure out a lot of things about episode 2. It is very important to keep this in mind. Okay, anyways. Even simply holding me captive for that long, yeah. Grandfather said something in the previous game. Was something like magic light and miracle probability. Indeed. As Kinzo was searching for it and out to capture me again, he stumbled upon that. Then, he finally worked out a ceremony involving the offering of 13 people as sacrifices to revive me again. 13 people as sacrifices. That is the witch's epitaph, a song of sacrifices. 6 people in the first. Okay, we already know this. The sacrifices were to be chosen randomly, and the one who held the ceremony, Kinzo itself, was no exception. Alas, are you saying that all the gruesome murders in this island were a weird ceremony? We already know this, Battler. Every time they popped the tag, I had a vague idea that this might be the case, but I couldn't just hear that it was true from a witch and a demon and say, oh really? And accept it. There are 18 people on Rokkenjima, 13 are for the sacrifices, 5 are left alive. Then I revive. In other words, the odds that Kinzo will be able to meet me again are probably around 1 in 3. He bet his own life on those odds, wishing for a reunion with me was the last bit of his remaining life. You're saying you gathered a family for the sake of that joke of a ceremony? Don't fuck with me! Don't say stuff like that, damn it! It was all set out in our contract from the beginning. When Kinzo's life ended, also goal had lent him, and all of the assets he created would be given to me. Yes, Kinzo did stab me in the back quite brutally, but looking back now, it was a rare and precious time during my 1,000 years of life. After all, boredom is my natural enemy. Kinzo, who offered me a chance to run away from that for several decades. Yes, you could say I owe him for that. I decided to go along with Kinzo's game. From the start, Kinzo returns, so he's sure my family is entering soon. It was my goal to revive the family after all. Then, 13 people are chosen at random to be sacrifices. While that happens, they all run about, showing me all kinds of human interactions as you try to oppose me, and entertaining me greatly. Yes, actually I've taken a liking to this game of Kinzo's. Cackle cackle. Is that it? Chapter not done yet. I definitely won't believe that kind of magic story. Oh fuck. That is impossible. But you're here. Who are you? I don't choose a 19th person. That is true. I am the 19th person. Cackle, cackle. But it's useless, right? It's all useless. What did you fucking kill him again? Holy shit. Yeah, I wasn't affected by the power outage. Thank God. Yeah, it did not affect me. In southwest of France, it was 10 minutes, by the way. But this is... You're kind of crazy. You think? Yeah, this Kojima is in like this episode, which means the other episodes could have had more people. No, wait, wrong thing. But this is very important to note down. I'm actually gonna blow it up. That is very important. Here we go. I did not expect it at all. I really thought that Beatrice would keep that, right, and not use it. As Butler said, it is a very dangerous gamble. But what did you say? You're saying that the X in the 18 plus X doesn't exist? You're saying the piece I took, the X, doesn't exist? That is what this means. My comment says, you do move fast, my lady. And I thought we let him flounder about before spitting in everything around at the end. Well then, Butler, with some more tea, be agreeable. I don't need it, damn it! I don't believe it! The corporate can't be one of the 18? Then what are you? And why are you here? If the 19th person doesn't exist, you're saying you're one of the 18 in disguise? Cackle. Perhaps you are castling? Oh, reluctantly. You are letting one of the 18 people as your last way out. However, it will be difficult for me from here on out. If you choose to stop caring about propriety, you could prepare a culprit, really, amid 18 people, making you reach checkmate by evading those 18 pieces. Will be truly difficult. It's always George. I think he's kind of deluded. I mean, episode 1 and episode 2, I could see, or a 19th person could have done it, right? Even though it's far-fetched, because I believe in episode 2 it had to be Genji. But I could see for episode 1. But like, I think it's more likely that like here it's gonna be an actual person of the family. We'll see. I won't suspect any of the 18. I don't want to suspect people. Have I really been cornered here again? Damn it, damn it, damn it. Looks like we're finally approaching the end. In the third round of this game of ours. You have nowhere to run anymore, right? Cackle. You don't want to suspect any of those beloved people in the 18, do you? Were you trying to hide that from me? Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. What if Kinzo imagine that he could like recapture Beatrice's spirit or some shit and kidnapped one of his kids and like brainwashed him or something. This is way far-fetched. But I guess we're thinking about doubting about Beatrice being among the 18. Brainwashing is like the only solution I see. And the only one who would brainwash is Kinzo. And the only brainwashable person would be one of his kids. Rosa would be my best bet, because she's like the youngest. Oh, Maria! Actually, it could genuinely be Maria this time. Like, without kidding, it could actually be Maria. There's 5,000 extinct wolves who work in Kojima. Why do you refuse me? I say you should play the opening like a book, the middle game like a magician, and the end game like a machine. I'll warn you from here on. Slowly, carefully, girl. Burn Castle, this is your time to shine. On the other hand, would be better if I pressed you all at once, which might suit your style more. Yes, that should fit you well, let's do that. I'm not fully aware of the sort of attacks you're weakest against. Cackle, cackle. Is he gonna drop another red truth bomb? No, no more red truth. Okay. Okay. New chapter. Right? Guest house? Okay. George must die. That doesn't mean he will. Oh. It's the first Twilight. This is quite important. Like, all the they're showing us all the locations. They're flirting again, obviously. They've shown us 6 people. They've shown us 6 people. I was like, oh, they're showing the location of everyone. No. They showed the location of 6 people. There's no fucking way Butler is dead. Okay, phew. Okay. Okay, no. Alright. Please, Kiri, don't die. No, I go to goat there actually. I can't believe I doubted you for a second. I genuinely thought Goda was a culprit for a moment. Beatrice is a player in this. It's the portrait did it! It's the portrait! It grew legs! It's the portrait who did it! Okay, got an achievement. 000. Now we can begin. With a little jingle. Arguably happy family. Evil and intimidating painting. I was genuinely about to argue that, like, she said it. But if there are no more than 18 humans, she specified humans. It's a fucking monkey. I thought about it for episode 2. But like here, it is so obvious. A monkey did it. Have you thought of that? Bitch is a chimp. Okay, we'll keep that for next time. Keeping the Sonaluka. We'll keep that for next time. I'm gonna go pee really quick, right? And then I will proceed to explain my theory for episode 2, which I think is pretty important. Alright, give me a sec. I'm pretty sure I figured out something important. Okay, BRB.
Alright, I'm back and I did drink. Oh yeah. Okay. So, here's what I'm thinking. Okay? Okay. Alright, and I think this is pretty important. I think I made a diagram of their room. Yes, okay. Why did I put G? Good, that should be a S. I'm a dumbass. Okay, so, two things, right? Two things. And I think those things are pretty important. First of all, let me get rid of this. I can just do this. I'm a dumbass. Okay. So. Alright. Here's what I figured out. First of all, the thing that I'm looking for, right? And I pointed it out last time. There's a pattern with every single one of those rooms, which are that they are all locked from the outside, and then the key is secured somewhere else, right? That's the trick every time that the killer did, except for the fourth one, where it's locked from the inside, and they made a point of saying that Beatrice purposefully makes mistake because she gets cocky, and because it makes it odd to read what she actually does, which I agree. That confused me so much why this one was suddenly different. Because I thought that meant like it was a new method invented. No. Here's what I think. Okay? Okay. So. Goda is locking the door from inside. Right? So far we all agree that this is a fact. Plus, he locked it with the key. The corpse has not been moved, right? It is still limp against the door, and they had to push to open it because Goda was blocking it. Which meant, by her own definition, the room was completely sealed. Okay? So, that would mean if they got murdered, the murderer would still be inside, right? The murderer and the method of murder. So the murderer can't be in there, because the murderer is not hiding in the room. And if we don't assume that one of them is the murderer, then that would mean, right? This would mean that the method of murder itself has to be contained in the room. And she said nothing about being like hidden pockets or like hidden things in the wall. So, I'm imagining a turret. That sounds far-fetched, but this is technology that could exist. A turret in there, aimed via camera. Again, that could exist. And Genji has been consistently proving himself to be a master at aiming. Right? He saw one butterfly at the other side of a room and nailed it with a knife. So having a fucking remote control turret would be easy. So where would the location of a turret be? Right? That's the important part. Would it be on the ceiling? Would it be on the walls? No. Shannon was looking directly at the mirror. Right? Looking directly at the mirror, and then the stake came from her forehead and then out the back. And then she slumped over onto the table. So by the definition, the stake had to come from in front of her. Like, how else could it be? Which meant, I'm imagining a revolving mirror which just spins around on itself and reveals a gun that shoots. And then flips back out, hiding the gun from inspection. Right? Now at this point, on every other case, I'm imagining that it was the same in Jessica's case, right? Which would explain why she got shot in the back. Because like they made a point of saying she would not have been shot in the back if she didn't trust the person. So that would explain that. At that point, in Jessica's case, the door was open so he could do his fancy trick. Here, the door was sealed. So there was no way to like modify anything. He just managed to kill them. That is all he managed to do. The keys, the master keys were on Rosa. He had no way to open them besides the key that was inside. but it was sealed inside. And there was no way he got the key from Rosa. Unless it was Rosa herself, which makes no sense, because Rosa was locked into a room that was barricaded. Which means, right? Which means, I am nearly 99% sure a turret did it. Maybe it wasn't remote controlled, maybe it was like automatic, whatever. The details don't matter. It was a turret, or another way to automatically launch stakes from inside the room that came from the mirror. Which got me thinking, right? If we apply this, if we imagine, oh yeah, he put revolving mirrors, why would he not do the same on other things, right? Like, that's not a technique you would use once. If you came up with that and told yourself, wow, that would be great for killing people from a distance, you would tell yourself, I'm gonna use it elsewhere, right? So, as I said, he would have used it for Jessica's case. But not only that. What if, in the wall, or like from outside or something, there was like some sort of, you know, in the kitchens, right? Where like the cook can like place a meal onto some sort of cupboard, push it out, and then it comes out on the other side and you can pick it up, right? Imagine this, but like more without the actual cupboard part. You can just like open it, throw something in, and then close it back out. When they said there's no crack from which you can slip things through, they're talking about the doors, not the walls. They're not talking about, like they're talking about the room is sealed from entering or leaving. But if you have a way like this to like have the key come from your side, right? Come to your side and then come back out on the other. This would mean, especially in Jessica's room, because in Jessica's room, her own key was in the room. This would explain it. This would explain how he managed to like get the key, lock it from outside, and then place the key back inside. I don't know if he got precise in like putting it back into Jessica, right? Maybe he got like one of those extendo arms, right? I'm gonna note it down. I should note it down because that's pretty important. What I figured out. To aim behind mirror. Okay, so that's that. All right, next part of the thing was here. Turret. Wait. I'm just gonna write it like this. Turret plus some sort of mechanism that closes back, that closes on itself, could allow sharing keys from outside to inside and of the way around. I don't know if it's explained properly, but it's what I'm coming up with. God damn it! Too big of a size. I wanted to lower it. Lower it. Okay. I should put it in blue because it's a blue theory. Turret plus mechanism that allows to hidden doors. I should cover thing that only allows small objects through and lets you place them back inside and them outside. Right? That's my idea. That would explain Jessica's room. Alright? Okay. So, this is 2 rooms explained. There's one room, like the chapel room. I have not thought about it much, because we've established that like you could get the key. I have not thought about the method of murder. But the method of murder itself, I can't care, because it's not like I've given hints as to what method of murder it would be. Maybe it's a gun, right? It's super far in the forest. Maybe it's a gun that we shoot, right? I don't fucking know. So it doesn't matter. Besides that, right? Let's move on to the other rooms that I'm still stuck on, right? Nandra plus Kama. I do not know. Like, you could assume it's also a turret of some sort, although I doubt it. But I'm wondering, what the fuck could have slit their throats, right? And I have not thought about them in detail, but I know there should be something similar that's involved. Because that is the best way, at least in my opinion, those are the 2 ways. Right, I'm gonna put it in blue. I'm gonna put S for like I think I solved it, right? I can't remember. And for the letter, I have no idea. My only guess would be like, oh, there's a trapdoor in the roof that just makes the letter fall down, or it's hidden into the cushion, and the cushion can like turn around on itself. But that would be silly. That would be really silly. So I don't know. That one's tough. Because that one would involve the servant keys in the servant room, which was locked by a master key, which were all possessed by Rosa. Unless said box, right? Wait. Is the box... No, okay. No, it's impossible to open the parlor. So again, the method, if it was locked by Rosa, the method of putting the letter there must have been inside the room and is still in the room. So I genuinely think the only way you could do it would be like a mechanism in the wall. And again, important point. This is extremely silly and impossible to imagine if it was a 19th person. But if it's Genji, who has been working here for 40 years, who is a trained murderer, who is extremely proficient with knives and weapons, who is able to accurately aim from super far, and again, has worked there for so long, he could have set up any mechanism he wants into any room. As far as we know, he set that up in any room and he just like pulled up the camera to where they wanted to go. Right? So, in my opinion, I think Genji is a murderer. I need to figure out how you would do first, third, and fifth. But I'm pretty sure second and fourth are solved in my book. Maybe it will be like last time, where I thought they made like a fake key and swapped them out, which I think was a smart theory, but it got completely shattered when Beatrice said Rosa had all 5 master keys. And I think if I went down that route of a fake key existing, I would have been stuck. It has been more than a month now that I've played episode 2 and I've went through all of these. And it is still on my mind. And I don't think I can give higher praise to Umineko than this. A game or an experience that still leaves my brain racking trying to think about something for a month is genuinely great.
It is genuinely great. So I don't know. I don't know about first. First is like one half sold, I guess. I don't think it's completely solved, but I do think it's like half solved. Just have to figure out how the murderer took the key and placed it back because like it was in the room. I guess you could say that Genji is a trained murderer, so he like that's silent steps. He's like an assassin, so he'd be able to do it. But I don't know. There's a third and the fifth. It's like 50% I managed to do. I'm not including, and I've not included something important, right? Okay, so this is a 6, right? This is important. I need to include it because I forgot that. I think it's a pretty important point that I made a while ago. The 5th. That's the order in which they happened. Our good friend, Beatrice, or whoever's a murderer, set Nanjo plus Kumasawa. Bodies in the fountain. This is ordered, by the way. Which I think is very important to keep like the timeline accurate. It doesn't actually count as a case that needs to be solved. But I think it's important to know that after killing Nanjo and Kumasawa, he preferred to kill George, etc. before setting up the two of them. So, I don't know. This is my theories for episode 2, and I'm pretty happy with that, right? I'm pretty happy with what I came up with. It could have been not great, right? I could have still been stuck. Again, besides, I guess the solution I came up with is a solution a lot of people could have figured out really quick, right? But I spent so long just searching every possible, like, clue. I was so focused on different ideas all throughout, right? And kept pushing them to the limit until it stopped me, and then I would just, like, move on to a different idea. And this is the first time that I get an idea that I can push through and actually figure out, right? Because a lot of the time, I would just hit a dead end and nothing would happen and it was over. So, I think that's about it for my TED Talk. Thank you everyone for hearing me out while I go on about my very dubious Umineko theories. And I'll be seeing you guys next time, I hope. Thank you everyone for coming. Wait, let me see if you can rate someone. Twitch.tv. Yes, please. Who's streaming? I'm gonna send you to Antipatience, who is currently doing a... what's the word? Factorial challenge run. He's a good friend of mine. Do say hi. And besides that, I'll be seeing you guys billion years. Bye bye. Here we go.